goodness.
Oh my God, I love you. I love you.
Right, hello, welcome to the Secret Sewing Club. I mean, I know we asked last week, did people prefer it in the studio or from home?
Yeah.
And they said they didn't mind, they just like the fun and the chaos. Do you?
And it's
I love
chaos.
It here. It is chaos, proper chaos. And it's really weird, there's no one here.
Yeah.
I know.
There's nobody here, and we can do anything we like. So we've had the fire doors open, we've had the drinks in the
just there.
studio.
I've got a cup of water underneath.
What?
There's no lid on it. Woohoo!
No lid.
No. But, so,
And
what-
John's in his slippers.
Yes, John's in his slippers.
I have never done a show in the studio without my slippers. I can't. You've got to be comfy.
Well, they're the closed toes, so that's fine.
Technically.
Right.
Anyway.
So, Secret Sewing Club, welcome. We have obviously Nicola, John, and we have Sew Thimblewood today, who, with a miscommunication, didn't realise we were in the studio.
We
so,
miss you.
Where are you?
It's going to be fine. They will still be on, but what we're going to do is we're going to do about 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes from here, and then we'll stop. And then we'll start again with Sew Thimblewood, because we were trying all sorts in the gallery to try and get them kind of brought into within this feed. Unfortunately, it wasn't happening. So
We
that
knew none of this.
is the.
I feel very let down.
I've been like, ah!
What do you mean we knew none of it, John?
None of this.
Because he doesn't pay attention.
Oh, he was in his little own world.
So,
I knew.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. And
We're in the flesh.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
We're in the flesh.
The chatting bit's easier
She's
because we don't
very
see
little.
each other.
Have you
Yes,
noticed? She's really little.
It's fine.
Like I've known you for
I
years.
think I have shrunk about another 4 inches due to stress.
No.
today.
And the
Can't have
thing
it.
is that Hayley's actually standing on an orange box as well.
All the way along, we have to keep moving away from the orange boxes.
No orange boxes. Right, so what have you got today, my lovely?
I have got lots of goodness. Lots of goodness.
Can we
Yeah.
show them the
Shall I
secret?
start?
Can we show them the secret?
What's
because
the
this is my
secret?
favourite bit.
Oh,
Yes,
that
the back. Can we show
Oh,
them?
what?
Can we show
Go
them?
on then, John.
What was
Go.
it
Because
saying?
it's so beautiful.
So that's the front of my
Oh.
new quilt.
And look, how
Look at
beautiful is that?
The back is totally different.
It's a reversible double-sided quilt, like a hello.
I know. Woohoo! I like that. Oh, hello.
So
Oh,
pretty.
hello. So I brought my brand new quilt. So I'm
so
Excellent.
gorgeous.
made this.
So a Secret Sewing Club exclusive? Sort of. Nearly.
yeah, I was at
Okay.
Stitch Festival last week.
Okay.
So it was sort of launched there.
Facebook exclusive.
Yeah.
That'll do then. We'll have
and,
it.
and Secret Sewing Club exclusive.
That'll do.
Well,
We'll have it.
For here.
We'll have it.
It's the first time it's been on.
And then some returning favourites as well.
Yeah, well, yes. So I'm starting with the templates, my lovely hexagon.
Squares, octagons.
I'm doing
rectangles
rectangles and squares. So I've got the 5 by 2.5 inch rectangle that fits on a jelly roll, and this is a whole jelly roll.
Oh.
Because you don't
Really?
lose your seam allowances, you get a bigger quilt, and that's minus 2 rows of the jelly.
So is that a 40 strip roll in that one?
That was a 42, but I didn't use 2 strips because they were too pale and I didn't like the way it
Just
looked.
didn't like them too.
So they came out. So it's actually 40 strip jelly roll, and it's a bit bigger.
There you go. Chris was
I'm
doing
just
a
minding
lovely.
the orange box.
Chris was having a lovely little
quick,
pan there.
that
He's
was
always
so
in, isn't he?
Right, sorry.
And then
We'll
your
keep
head was
John
in,
here.
and then you were having another little pan, and then chests in.
Can I just say, look at the swimmers.
I know.
Oh,
Now,
so
I thought they
cool.
were gymnasts.
well,
But I think
they
these
could be
ones are.
anything.
Oh, they're so good. What
But
was the jelly roll?
it was called Pivot by Ruby Star.
I was going to say it looks
Society.
Ruby Star, that one.
But I sold out completely at
As you
Stitch
should have.
Festival.
No, it's
So I've got
beautiful.
none of that fabric, I'm afraid. But I've got some other good fabric.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
I've got another quilt here. That's an older
Same
one.
template though, isn't it?
Same. That's a bigger one. That's a 6 by 3, which I haven't got on the show, but I just showed you. Same principle for the quilt, and I've got the quilt pattern. So that's my stepping stone.
Do you know what I love about
quilt.
your acrylics and things that you do is that you can merge them in with these massive, gorgeous patterns, break them down, and then put these neutrals in it. So you've got that. Because a lot of people that you're making quilts for now,
Oh, and that-
they don't want such bright fabrics. Oh,
Got
lovely.
crosses on the back.
That's very pretty.
Quilt as you go is amazing.
Oh, I love this one. I love a bit of bling.
Oh, it's got silver. I don't think you can see it on the
It's
screen.
got a gorgeous
It's got a
metallic.
bit of
That was a
silver.
Lids Elliot, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
or was it Juicy Juice?
No, it's Libs.
Oh,
I only
go.
know that because
Anyway.
it's in my shop in the Libs section.
Nicola has lots of beautiful things. John has lots of beautiful things. They're over there.
And Hayley's got lots of beautiful
Give me
things.
an overview of what you have. See, look at all this.
So what
we
I've
have.
yes, you can see. So what I've decided to do is I've got so many beautiful fabrics, and I've got the new Juicy Juice Fizz.
Okay.
It is beyond divine. It is so gorgeous. So I brought that today, and I've already made a sample out of it as well. So
Is that what you were hurriedly sewing when
I don't know
we...
what you're talking about. I was prepared 10 minutes ago. I don't know what she's talking about. Take your time on your demo, please.
Yeah, so the way it's going to go is we are going to go Nicola, then John, then me, because
Hayley's got new
Michelle is at home. And then we'll come back round, another one from Nicola, another one from John, and then we will stop and we will head over to Michelle, and she will get all of her demos in one big go.
Fantastic.
So it's all good. So
But that's
shall,
really cool because we get to watch them.
I know. Shall we swoosh
Bring
off?
your orange box.
No box, man. There's no
So
box.
shall I go down my counter
yes.
and-
If you want me to, I'll go and get my phone and I'll get questions and things for you, and I'll just
Perfect.
kind of randomly pop in.
Okie dokie.
Randomly popping in.
So, I'll start here. So I have my 5-inch square, my 5 by 2.5 inch rectangle, and the 2.5 inch square. Now, the new quilt is using the 5 by 2.5 inch rectangle and the 2.5 inch square. Now, if you buy both of those together for 1 week, I will give you the pattern for free. So if you buy this and this together, I will give you that for free. Now you can add it into your basket and it will come up at 0 pence. If you don't, I will send it to you anyway. So that's Secret Sewing Club deal. You get the pattern if you buy those 2 templates. Now you can buy these all individually, and let me get the prices for you, bear with. I've written them all down. So the 5-inch is 16, the rectangle is 14, and the square is 11. Now, I also have a bundle of all 3 of the templates together, and that is a saving of what you for £34.50. That's, you're getting such a good saving on that because it should be £41, but that doesn't include the pattern. There you go. So rectangle and square on their own, you get the pattern, or you can get all 3 of these in a bundle, big savings, however you do them. Then I've got the pattern. So these all relate to these templates. So these are all £6. So I have the Brick in It quilt pattern, which is this. I hope you like the name. I really liked the name. Dave hated it, but hey ho. So my Brick in It quilt pattern, the log cabin quilt pattern, which is on my demo table, so we'll see that later. The stepping stones pattern, which is the one we just showed, and that, although it's for the 6 by 3 rectangle, I've also got instructions for the 5 by 2 rectangle as well. So that's on there. We also have the zipped bucket bag and the bucket bag pattern. Now that is using the 2 squares, so the 5-inch square and the 2.5-inch square. So if you're buying the bundle of templates, it's a great one for you. And the last but not least is my zipped tray bag pattern. Now this went really well at Stitch, and I'll show you why, because I've got some kits for that. So kits. Got this new one. This fabric came in while I was at Stitch Festival last week, and I loved it so much I thought I need to make a product. So look at this. So this is like a box really, and you wouldn't believe when you open it and you undo the zip and the poppers, it becomes a tray. So it's contains all your bits in that tray. Isn't it amazing? And the fabrics are gorgeous. These are from Moda, and I think it's called Bloom and Grow, so it's all bees. So I've been a busy bee. There you go. So new product for today, specifically for Secret Sewing Club. Woohoo! Then I've got all 4 zip tray bags. Now, all 4 of these sold out at the Stitch Festival. So the 2 Tula Pinks, I've got violet and turquoise. And then I've got the Moda Antiques. And I've also got the Moda Pixel. And I'm going to cough. Sorry, I've got terrible hay fever.
That's all right.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. These kits are £22. And it's got everything you need to make the zip tray bags. So you've got your fabric, you've got your zip, you've got your bias binding, you've got your fabrics, obviously. You've even got the wadding, and it comes with the pattern, and it comes with the 2.5-inch square template. Very important. So it comes with this template.
Right, do you need a drink, my lovely?
I've got one under the counter.
That's all right. I can
It's
just
hay fever.
I can hop in.
I've got. Oh, have we got some
Yeah,
questions?
we've got. Well, we haven't got questions yet, but we have got people hopping on saying hello, everybody, and happy Mother's Day for any of those who are watching on Mother's Day. And there's a comment on YouTube as well,
Lovely.
which says we've started on good form already, and they expect the chaos to continue.
Oh,
That's from Barbara. Thanks, Barbara.
How very rude.
I know.
How very rude. That's not fair, is it?
We've got a
And my
hi
eyes are
from
streaming
Kate
now.
in New Jersey as well. So we've got them quite far afield today.
Woohoo. Okay. It's
Okay,
not Mother's
are
Day
you-
in America.
No,
is it?
it's not theirs. It's a different day.
Different
Are you
day.
fully hydrated now?
I'm a bit hydrated. I might have to start. It's just this hay fever.
It's all right. Don't worry. Just give us a shout.
How many
Either me or John will waft in.
Thank you. I wonder if you're all suffering. It's tree sap for me, and it's terrible today. And I'm antihistamined up, and I'm still like completely. So anyway, with zip tray bags, amazing. Everything in the kit that you need: template fabric, zips, snappers, bias, everything is in that kit. Nearly last but not least, my zipped bucket bags. Now these sold well at Stitch as well, but I haven't got many of them left, like single digits. I've got the Jen Kingswell here. It comes in this lovely box and you get everything in it. So, well, apart from the wadding, sorry, apologies. So you get 2 templates. You get the 5-inch, the 2-inch, you get the pattern, you get the backing fabric, you get the interlining for the handle, and I've put an interlining in there to make it firmer that you put onto your wadding, and you get your zip. So all in the kit. These are normally £45. Today, 40. So this will be an offer while stocks last or until the end of the week, and then they go back to 45. If I've got any left, they go back to 45, because I'm in the process of making some new kits. So once these have gone, they've gone forever, because I've got no more of this fabric. So that's that. There's one last thing which is at my demo table, so I'm going to wander around this bit so I don't trip over and come to my demo area. And the last thing that I've got for you is my bundle of bee fabrics. So these came in, as I said, at Stitch. And let me try and angle these so you can see them. They're gorgeous. So we've got the little beehives there. We've got some writing on that one. I put a plain black in because I thought it just coordinated the fabrics a bit better. I've got little bees on there and another beehive there. Now this is Moda, and this is from a designer called, oh, I've just seen this. I've cut this and I haven't even seen this. Come little bees, the flowers are getting your breakfast ready. Isn't that cute? And this is by Bloom and Grow, and that's by Kathy Schmitz for Moda. So isn't that beautiful? So this comes in fat quarters or fat 1/8 bundles. So this should normally be, for a fat quarter bundle, it should be £20.
Hello.
Drum roll.
No, I've just come to remind people that if you do see anything that you like from Daisy and Grace, the QR code is up over there. the web address is down over here. And I mean, that's how we are able to put these things on, because you support the businesses that come on here.
And we'll
So-
be packaging that. We post it all out.
Yes.
Comes
I
direct
don't.
to us, and we directly.
Nicola and Dave do it all. They send it directly to you. So yes, do support the businesses. And if there's anything you see that you like, as we said,
Grab
QR
it.
code up there, so you can scan that with your phone or your tablet. It will take you directly to the website. Or if you want to type the website in, it is just down there. Thank you very much. Carry on.
Thank you. So the fat quilter bundle should be £20, but for Secret Sewing Club, drum roll, £16 for 5 fat quarters. And if you want fat 8s instead, if you only want a little bit to make a smaller project, that's £8. So there we go. That's my last product. So I need to do some demonstrations. Now, I love the 2.5-inch square. It's so cute. It's good for scrap busting, because this inner shape, you've always got a bit of fabric this big to make the square, and this isn't much bigger, the outside. If I put it that way, there we go. Look, I'm not very, there we go. Let's swivel that. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. I'm swiveling. There we go. And it's good on my jumper. Whoop, that way. So the 2.5-inch square is what I'm going to be demonstrating with. So I have cut a backing out in black, of course. I always think these things through. So this is the Moda Pixels, and I've cut the inner square in the Moda Pixels, and I've cut the wadding. Now, you can use a 2.5-inch wadding roll, and I think somebody in the studio might have them. And I have actually fused some caddy tray into my caddy tray interlining on the back to make it a bit firmer. And magic hands, look, Hayley's got some. So this fits on, where's my template gone? Here we go. So you see that, it fits. There we go. Oh look, I'm all squiff. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, now.
Sorry, I didn't realise he was on.
It's number 4. I was doing to number 3. Okay, yes. I'm talking to nobody.
So it's okay, I'll come on this side.
Round.
If you had a fusible one,
yes.
So if you had a batting that was already fusible with a little bit of kind of extra structure to it, could you fuse that onto there first and then roll them over? Just saying.
Just saying.
Saying. Somebody's got
Just
one.
saying. Why not? Why have I got John's quilt behind me when it's my demo area? Oh, how very dare he?
It's not a quilt yet.
How very dare he? Look.
It ties in with your blocks.
Oh.
And it matches your jumper. Hang on.
And yours, actually.
Uncoordinated. Look, Hayley's going to try and sort it out. See, madness reigns here at Secret Sewing.
Oh, I can fix it. Look.
Oh, no, look. Ah!
So I'll just stand here and do this and go, hello.
He's kicked
That's
the
not
bucket.
creepy at all, is it?
No, we'll just stay here and watch the demo.
And he's just kicked the bucket. It's really funny.
Bye.
Bye. I don't mind John's quilt being.
Well, I'll put it back then.
I don't mind. It's beautiful. It's just not mine. So I'm not demoing that. John will be doing that. So anyway, what was I doing, Hayley?
Demoing. You would cut your squares out.
Yes, I've cut. Yeah, thank you.
And now you were going to stick the things on and then do
show
the
how-
folding.
Yeah,
Got it.
Hayley knows. She's had to watch me do this so many times now, bless her.
Never gets old, Nicola, never gets old.
No, it doesn't. So here we go. So here's my backing fabric. Voila. And then I use the template that goes back on top of the fabric. Now it gives me this. This is the magic of these templates, because they're, the middle comes out and they're clear, so you can fussy cut. Oh, yes, I'm just going to reach over. Yes, you can fussy cut, because look, you can do magic things like this as well. Oh, look, I've moved too quickly for Chris. Sorry, Chris. So you can do fussy cut the centres of your fabric because the templates are clear. And this is using all 3 of the templates. So this is my, I've gone off piece and I don't even know what this is called now. It's like a window block, isn't it? So you can do something like that with the templates. I'm going to pop that back there for now. Shall I go back to demo? Yes. Get on track, Nicola. Stop diverting. So the square goes back onto the main fabric, and this empty space here is where the magic happens when the template doesn't move. Because you pop your wadding dead in the centre there, and you take your fabric and you pop your fabric on top of the wadding, and then you get some pins and you pin that in place like so, and that goes through all 3 layers, and then you can take this template off. Now, because that's dead centre, it allows you to fold over the bindings. My fabric's got a bit frayed in the package, but never mind. You fold your first binding over to meet the inside shape. I did that a bit quick, but I'll do it again on the next one. And then I've just finger pressed those edges. Then I'm going to turn it. And what you do, you fold this backing fabric to meet the edge of that inner shape. So this same process for all of my templates. On the square, sometimes you get a little bit of a dog end here. So I just turn a little pizza wedge over there. And when I fold it again, no dog ear. Perfect. Now I'm going to do this on the sewing machine. So I'm actually going to go round and pin all of this, and then I'll give it a quick press before I go to the sewing machine. I'm spilling my pins everywhere. But this is a lovely little job to do while sat in front of the TV. So I'm expecting all my Daisy and Grace quilters out there to be sat there watching this, doing their little quilt as you go shapes, pinning them in place or hand stitching them. Anyone doing it out there?
Yeah, there are. There's a lady working on some 2.5-inch squares, and just while I'm sneaking in here, there is a lady called Celia saying, how do we place an order? Now, as we said earlier, this isn't like Create and Craft. It's not one central place where you place your orders. If you love any of the stuff that Nicola's bringing from Daisy and Grace, you do need to order directly from Daisy and Grace, and you can either do that with the QR code over here, or you can have the website down here. Thank you very much. Continue.
Oh, hang on before you do.
Oh.
We have a... Hello.
Hello.
We have a Facebook message from Kiara saying, love the craziness that is the Secret Sewing Club. I don't know what she's talking about.
No, who's crazy?
Have you kicked that box yet?
No, you kicked the bucket.
I'm currently working on some 2.5-inch squares while watching you. I thought you needed to hear that now.
I did. That's lovely. So at least 2. Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Hands off. No.
What does it say?
No.
Oh, that
fabric. Yeah, it's set. Oh, flowers always and always, and into the garden. Appropriate on Mother's Day, isn't it?
Very.
Go to lose my mind and find my soul. I must have flowers. Ah, flowers lift the spirit and refresh the soul. The hum of the bees is the voice of the garden. How cute is that?
How could you not read that out?
I know, I did, because I haven't read it before and didn't know what it said, John. It could have been something rude, couldn't it? I don't think so with Moda fabric. They're normally gorgeous sentiment. But anyway, back to this. I've pinned it. Oh, sorry, wrong camera. It's all pinned. So I'm going to bring my ironing mat and my iron, and I'm going to give that a quick press. Now, why do I press this? You asked me. Now, normally when I'm hand sewing, I don't bother pressing. I just hand sew. But if you press this, you get a nice sharp line where you've folded your fabric, and that helps you when you're taking it to the sewing machine. So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine now, and and I've dropped it on the floor. Excuse me, back. And I've got to find my foot. I haven't tested my sewing machine either. So John's been busy sewing and I haven't even tested my machine. So let's fingers crossed that it works. Let's get my sew. Come on everyone, let's see. I'm going to take my pin out. And I'm using white thread. Why am I using white thread on black?
So you can see it.
So you lot can see it. I'm not being... There we go. And I'm not sewing over my pins because I found out by very expensive mistake that if you sew over the pins, you can sometimes break your sewing machine. And it cost me an awful lot of money to repair. There we go. And I'm going round. Now you can do this, as I said, you can do this by hand or you can do it by machine. There are, and you can do either a mixture of both or all in one. So the brick and knit quilt pattern, the brick and knit quilt, I actually did all by machine, and I used, because there's lots of colours, I used an invisible thread on that, and that was really cool. Now I'd find my little scissors, and I'm going to hopefully show you what I've done. There we go. So you can see, because it's in white, you can see where I've sewn, and that is your little square. Now this was left over from when I was demoing before, and I'm going to make a little box, because this I actually stole from my sewing room this morning because I had clips and things in it. So I'm actually going to make a little box with this one, but I'm going to show you how to join them. So I'm going to just turn my sewing machine to a zigzag stitch. I'm going to leave it at the factory settings, and I'm going to place these up to each other, and I'm just going to place that under the sewing machine. Now I'm not pushing the shapes together, I'm just leaving a little gap there, and I'm going to start, and the sewing machine brings them together as I sew, because what I say is they should kiss, not snog. There's no snogging, thank you very much, just kissing. Then they just join up, and there is my zigzag. Now obviously you'd do that in black like I have here. I've got little threads and things, and join them. I need a 5th square. That becomes the tub, and the other one comes the base. That's simples.
I'm just going to quickly nip in, because this is the same amount of the zipped tray as well, isn't it? Because I've got a message from Barbara here.
Oh, hello.
She's bought the zip tray. Would it be better to put interfacing on the fabric before she puts it together?
So the interfacing is optional. I've actually got, shall I go and grab?
I'm going to grab it for you, that's no problem.
The pixel one, this one, Hayley, has got no interlining in it.
Have you got another one that has? And
the B one has got interlining in it.
There you go.
So let's take the stuffing out.
There's both. I'll switch around to the other side.
You can do either or. So this is quite soft and this is a bit firmer. So it is all dependent how you would like your zip tray to be. If you would like it firmer, then put interlining in it. And you put it on your wadding before you put your squares together. But don't panic, if you haven't put interlining on, it doesn't need it. It's just an optional extra if you want it nice and firm and crisp.
Lynn has also bought the zip tray because she thought it would be best to start on something small. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, the 2.5 inch is a small shape, so it's a little bit more fiddly than the bigger shapes that I do. But yeah, it's doable. It's quite easy.
Perfect.
And it's such a scrap buster as well.
Yeah, because you don't need a lot of fabric, do you? So
And
you could, I mean, if you had one strip of a jelly roll left, that would be enough easily to do one of the zip trays.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's
and
what?
the ends of jelly rolls, if you don't use a...
10 and 12. How many is there?
Yeah, there's squares there.
I was just working it out. Do the maths.
So
That's
the
generally
other-
my job, is do the maths for other people.
The other thing with the 2.5 inch, can I do a little story? Have I got time for a little story?
Go for it. You have a story, and then we'll pop and see John. How's
Okay,
that?
so there was a lovely story. Me, Steph, and my mum. It's Mother's Day, so I
Yes.
mentioned my mum
There you
and
go.
my mother-in-law. Happy Mother's Day to you both. Me, my mum, and Steph put scraps of made 2.5 inch squares.
Yeah.
Between the three of us, enough to make a huge quilt. And then we said that I put it all together, and we said we'd give it away for charity.
Okay.
So Jenny, my friend at Missouri Star Quilt Company,
Yes.
asked me if I had a charity quilt that I could give them for their charity
Okay.
auction. So I asked Mum and Steph, I said, can we give this to them?
Yeah.
And they said yes. So I sent it off to America. They were doing a live auction. Got up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, to watch the auction.
To watch the
Right,
auction.
lovely.
There was my quilt on the right. Mm-hmm. There was Kay Fassett's on the left.
Did you beat Keith?
And I was like, oh my goodness, I got up especially to see this auction, and I'm going to lose to Kay Fassett. I thought,
I mean,
okay,
that's fair enough,
fine.
though.
I don't mind. That's fine. Anyway, Kay's came on first. He's got sold first. $800. I was like, how much do you think mine made?
I'm getting offers in my ear here. He's saying 1,200.
1,600. I doubled Kay's.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, that was a bit loud, close to my mic.
Well done.
Yeah, I jumped out of bed, and Dave didn't know what was going on. I go, woohoo!
So Dave's almost asleep.
Yeah.
You're watching on the
on-
internet, and then you've just woken him up because
It was worth it.
excellent.
So it's amazing. A quilt made from 2.5 inch squares from scrap.
But also, it's making your expensive fabric go a lot further, because
Yes.
obviously you can use a plain, you can use something like the white on whites and things that you've got in here, which generally you can pick up more cost effectively than necessarily having a premium brand roll. So you can get your fabric to go an awful lot further.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
just lovely. So that was my story. Thank you.
That's no
Thank
problem.
you for putting up with me. Is John ready?
This is a good question.
require
Is
30
John
seconds.
ever ready?
30
He requires
seconds.
30 seconds.
30
He requires
seconds.
30 seconds.
He's chucking his bags away and getting
He's tidying
ready.
it up, trying to make it look like he
Squares
knows
or
what he's doing.
triangles? Pick one.
Triangles.
Perfect.
No, actually, John, they're called tringles in my house.
Ah, okay.
Tringles.
Why?
Because I'm just silly.
Okay, fair enough. You're in
Just
good
so that I know what
company
I'm
then.
demoing next.
Tringles.
He's got loads of them. He's got loads of demos ready. We had a little panic, and he's made. There's not time
Excuse
to do
me, dear.
hair.
No one's panicking.
No, no one's panicking. We never panic. We never panic. Never ever. Never ever.
I just
Anyway.
feel like, can I put my quilt back now?
It's there. I
I put it. Oh, it's maybe a bit soggy.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's very,
That's not having it.
No, you
he's
cannot
very
put your quilt
precious.
back.
He's very precious. Look. Oh, look.
There. Okay.
He's doing
Quilt back.
maintenance.
Everybody happy. What have you got, John? You've got. There's an awful lot on here.
I love fabric.
We know this.
It's Mother's Day. Your child, there we are. Hello. Your child may not have brought you fabric.
I didn't buy
No,
my
her
mum
fabric.
fabric. She would not have been impressed with that.
What did you get?
For my mum, we're going out
No,
Wednesday.
your fur babies.
Oh, Frank got me nothing, but I did
Unacceptable.
have to clean out her pen today. So
Fair enough.
really, I got a load of duck poop. That's what I got, duck poop.
I have no
And then
children,
her
so
following
none
me
of that.
around, like, where are my treats? Come on, where
Love
are my
it.
treats?
So yes, I thought what I would do is I would bring in some fabric, everything in my shop that I have been looking at and
It's a
stroking.
good idea. Bring some
and-
fabric.
Well, it's more. You know what it is I think we're all at that point now. We've got so much stuff. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to use. We don't know where we are. And we just kind of, I don't know about you, but I'm bored of my fabric stash. I'm just bored of looking at it. So I wanted something a bit different and a bit mergy-inny. And then the amazing people from
And then
Macau.
he's wandered off.
I'm sorry,
There you
I've
go.
wandered off. Hello. The wonderful people
I think
from
I might
Macau.
leave you to this because I've got a
Juicy.
feeling
No,
you'll be
look at it
flitting.
first.
It
Look
is
at
beautiful.
So I love an ombre. I love a rainbow. I love Juicy Juice. Have you heard of him? Mm-hmm. He's amazing. I love him to bits. Follow him on Instagram. He's incredible. But this is his new collection. But when you look at these, you just cannot believe that something so simple as some dots.
It's just a really useful
It's so perfect.
option, isn't it?
But then you do that and you put that ombre on there and it just sings. So there we go. We have fizz.
I am going to...
iquilt.studio. Pop in the shop and there's The Secret Sewing Club, 185 different items in there today. And yes, have a little look. So I thought I would bring you all of the fizz in my life at the moment. And because Vlieselina create the most incredible products, I thought I would show you the trick of making these, which make a secondary pattern when you use them. This is the colorway that I have done. This is the colorway that I have done for my sample. So you will be able to see that in a moment when we go over to the table. But when I saw that, I thought, oh, how perfect is that going to be when I make that as a full kit? Now, if you are going to do this, I was going to make this into a full quilt. I run a fabric shop. So I go to my fabric shop, I look, I pull, they're all in a bundle. Client comes in, buys the fabric. You don't have the fabric anymore. Buy what you think you're going to need and then buy more, because when you look at the bag 3 months, 6 months, a year later to make it, you've then got enough to finish the project. So if you are going to do this, you're going to need more of the fabrics that go in the middle over here on these longer lines just to be able to catch up. So these longer lines over here, you'll need much more of that fabric than you will of the fabric at the top, because these ones you've got longer stretches, specifically of this one and this one. You're going to need more of it. So if you're buying a ½ meter of that, I would just suggest getting a meter of these two just to make it work. But that is going to be our demo for the day. The other one I just wanted to show you, these are from Stephanie I think it's Organis. Forgive me if I got that pronunciation wrong. But I thought it was important to just show these beautiful colors, these beautiful flowers with just a soft, beautiful palette on all of these. You've got this gorgeous purple here. And you can see that echoing fabric there of the designs. But what I love is when you've got the purple and then you put that yellow with the same design on it, and then you pop that orange in. A lot of people who come into my shop tell me that they struggle to put colors together. And I love telling people to buy from a collection that's already made, because the work is done for you. Now, if you go onto the website is www.iquilt.studio, and look for the shop. All of these fabrics are there in the shop. This quilt that we've got over here is this one over here. You can see that gorgeousness over there. This is Renee Nanneman. This is a collection called Tea Dye. And the way she's done it, you'll see there's little tiny pops of color. So in this one, you've got a beautiful maroon, and then when you put the maroon in, you can see how they merge together and they go so beautifully. A perfect little blender color. I didn't buy the full collection. I just wanted to get a selection of them that I thought popped really beautifully. And I think that works very, very well. And why I then went and made this giant quilt over there. And you can see that was from a ½ meter bundle. Doing all 9 fabrics, a ½ meter bundle, and then I bought 1.25 meters of the blue to put it all the way around. So if you did want to do something, that's what we're looking at there. It is really quite big. I think it was 87 square, but you can see I've put this teeny tiny little border in over here of this smoke color here, but I think that breaks it up really nicely. So we're going to move over here and do the demo. I'm going to show you the little piece that I've made, because I think it is quite remarkable, and I think we'll do that over here. Thank you very much. This is the demo that I've made.
Oh, he was waiting for you over
Sorry,
here.
my bad, you switched over there.
It's all right.
But I did this the wrong way round yesterday. But no, but I put my hexagons in the 2 places and it looked like I had female organs.
Oh.
Can you see now if you put them together?
Oh, okay.
But look at that. Okay, these are all made from exactly the same piece of FPP, which makes the star and the hexagon. And I will now show you that while we are sitting at my little table.
At here?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you.
So, oh, you've done something.
It's my iron.
It's your iron. Okay, it's having a moment. Okay, so apparently they are definitely Tringles, because your shop is in Tring.
It is indeed.
So they are now officially Tringles.
I like that.
Oh, they sound like they should come in a tube and be tasty. Shouldn't they?
Have you used Quilters Group, this quick stream triangle before?
I have not, but we do some printed fusible interfacing stuff.
So this is not fused. This is all FPP that stays in.
Oh,
we
very
got a
nice.
question.
Yes, I do. And I'm just...
I was planning on starting this today with the pastels I bought a while ago. Chris Ransley, did you happen to buy those from a very, very popular store near your old house? I think it was.
in Tring?
Yep, she used to live near me. Yep. Hello,
So yes,
hello.
you
White
do.
geckos, yeah, hello, Sarah.
Yes, everybody's here. I'm flipping between. We're on the craft store, but we're also on Secret Sewing Club, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So we're on like 4 platforms at the minute. So I am trying to switch between all of them and get all of your
You're doing a
information.
brilliant job.
And Liz says
Hi,
she's
Liz.
given away 12 bags of those big blue IKEA bags of fabric,
Wow.
and still can't see
That
using
is
everything.
very impressive, Liz.
That's a lot. That's a good stash.
It is.
That's a
I like
good, strong
it.
stash. Right, I shall let you
problem at all.
crack on.
So this is why the only reason this didn't become a giant quilt is I ran out of that fabric and I ran out of that fabric and they don't make it anymore. So that's why it's a little table runner. But quite literally, when we put these together, you are literally just making multiples of the same triangle. Oop, I'm sorry, Chris, I'm messing you around. You're making multiples of this triangle and you're just putting them together either to make a star, or over here, you rotate it round to become a hexagon. I'm driving Chris insane today. I'm so sorry. I will leave everything and watch where you are. When you do this, just make sure that you've got a starting point. So if you've got a star here and a hexagon here, make sure that the star always stays that way when you're putting them in. And when you get back to your hexagon, that the hexagon's going that way. But you can see by when you do this, you can see how easy this would be to expand out. Now, the way you work out how big to cut your triangle, so the triangle, when you buy it in pieces of 0.5 meters by 90 centimeters, and it looks like that. So when you buy it, you're then going to say, in my selection here, I've got 12 fabrics. So what I did was I counted down 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can all count to 12. We're going to guess it's there. And what I did is I then cut on that line, and I cut that piece out. So we're going to pretend I've cut that there, and you cut out your 12 triangle. Then what you do is you count down 12 along the equilateral triangle. Oh, I almost had 12, it was 11. So if I now lay that on top there, you can see you're just going to then slice those bits out and cut your equilateral triangles out like that. Now, my favorite question from people is, what do you do with the bits that are left over? Now, I hate waste, and we all have an enormous amount of fabric. So what I do then is I love EPP. I love it. I do it by hand. I love it, but I never quite have the time to get around to actually finishing it. So what I do is I cut these into hexagons, and then I glue the fabric onto it, because these stay in. This is a fabric that a stabilizer that you leave in your fabric, and you're able to then use this at any point. You never have to take it out. You can wash it up to 30 degrees, and you can then glue these down with your fabric as you would with like a freezer paper or anything like that. And then when you have a series of them together, you put them together, and you just put that through your sewing machine and zigzag along using all those gorgeous decorative stitches that you've never used on your sewing machine, and you put those together, and then you put one over here, and then you put that one over there, and you just literally go with your sewing machine and zigzag all the way along, and before you know it, you've got a whole quilt made up, and those are just from the scraps from the side. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to do what I'm going to show you here, which is foundation paper piecing, to be able to make, if you want to, one of these. Now, everybody always asks me how much of the stabilizer should I buy? I normally say 2 meters is a good starting point, because you haven't got any waste. Forgive me, I've just thrown all my stuff on the floor. You haven't got any waste, because whenever you do this, whenever you stitch your pieces down and onto it, you're always going to cut 1/4 inch past where your piece of stabilizer is. So this won't have a seam allowance in, so you need to make sure that you're cutting 1/4 inch past your triangle that you've got in there. So quite literally every single scrap of the stabilizer you will use whenever you come to make these. They're so easy to do. So We're going to try and make one of these. I've got my little pieces of fabric all ready to go, lined up. And you will need to learn FPP in order to do this successfully. If you haven't done FPP, check out the website later this week. There will be classes to teach you how to do FPP. FPP, the best description of it is you're sewing upside down, back to front, and the wrong way round. That is, when you do it the first few times, you will understand what I mean. So on the wrong side of your stabilizer, you're going to put the wrong side of your fabric. We're going to get that into position. This will be the only time I use a pin on this entire project. I don't love pins. If you want to, you can pin away as much as you like. I just normally do what Nicola was telling you about earlier and end up going over the pin with my machine, and that's never a good sign. So I've now pinned that in place, wrong side of the fabric to wrong side of the stabilizer. I'm flipping that around, and then I'm taking right side of my fabric to right side of my fabric, as you would normally. And then the sewing line that I'm going to be stitching on, I'm just going to put a finger mark in place so that I know where I'm stitching. And then quite simply, you're then going to stitch along that little line. Now I've got my needle right in place. I'm going to move my pin. Okie dokie. So we've now stitched that down. And you're going to get rid of everything you don't want anymore. You do need to do this as you go along, otherwise you end up with a very bulky piece, which isn't what you want. And then you just take your iron, and I always set my seam first, so I just let the iron sit on there, and then I gently take the nose of my iron and I push that seam out to get that as flat as it'll go. Okay, so we've done our first seam of FPP. Now we're ready to do the second seam. So just like before, I'm going to take the right side of my fabric to the right side of my fabric. I'm going to fold on the line that I'm about to stitch on and making sure that I get it the right way round. Nothing can go wrong when you do it live, can it? It's true, Nicola's giggling over there saying, nope, I totally know what you mean. Once we've done that, we then fold this over. Sorry, my angle was a bit funny there. Now, everybody who does FPP will always tell you the only reason things go wrong, the only reason you get it wrong is if you stitch it the wrong way round, which happens a lot, or your pieces are too small. So make your pieces bigger than you think.
I've got a question.
Any question you like.
About the doing the FPP on this grid. Well, kind of a grid, but triangle grid. What about can you use the scrap or waste pieces to make smaller triangles?
You can.
Is the question.
Absolutely, you can use any pieces you like. This is perfect for a scrap buster. But if you have got a scrap buster and you don't want to do triangles and you don't want to do FPP, hang about, because the next demo I have is Quilters Grid.
Okay, can I also ask a question? Could you save me some old rotary cutter blades, please? Because I've got a sharpener coming and I've sharpened all of our old.
Absolutely, with pleasure.
Need 40,
that's the thing with the sharp, you should go through.
28s, please.
45 and 28?
Yes.
Oh, I mainly use 60s, but I've got a few.
Okay,
I will do. I wish I'd known, because you've got to recycle them. It's quite difficult to recycle them now.
Yes, well, we've got a sharpener.
Perfect.
We've had it before. It was brilliant. I couldn't get any more for ages. They're back in, so I'm going to go and I've got loads coming. So
with pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
And then you literally just keep doing your FPP along the way until you get to the point that you wanted to stop. Now, I've only stopped because this is 12 fabrics in my ombre. You can make as many fabrics in here as you like. All you would do is count out the number of lines, both on the equilateral and on the straight side, to count for the fabric that you're going to do. But the FPP classes, there's going to be one in a week's time and another in 3 weeks' time. If anybody hasn't done FPP and they want to learn, it's all on Zoom. So if you want to, they will be up later in the week. Just trying to confirm dates. But you can see this slowly takes shape as you go along. And it's really just such a simple, mindful process, because you've got to really take your time and make sure you're doing it in the right place, in the right line. And the great thing about it, English paper FPP, I absolutely love, but the thing I hate the most is tearing out my pieces at the end. But the great thing about this stabilizer is you don't need to tear your pieces out, you just leave them in. And you can wash it up to 30 degrees, you're absolutely fine with that, and there's no problem. So I think that gives you a rough idea of how this works. Sorry, I'm going very quickly there, Chris, apologies. Have I still got time for another quick demo? No, I've got another 5-minute demo if you want me to do another.
Oh, sorry, I've just
Really
wandered
simple.
right in front.
You chat
I
away.
was chatting to Nicola and
Carry
I
on
got
chatting, 'cause
distracted.
I've literally got another 5
Do
minute
it,
demo.
yes. We were chatting.
Come and
Sorry.
chat. So that's what we do.
'cause we're
And you
never in
just
the same place.
literally-
No.
You just build it up as you go along, and you can see how this goes. I would say do one, and then leave it as your sample as you go along. So that is what I would use my Quilters grid, my quick screen triangle for. I do love it. There is one other tiny little thing that you can use with it. And now, of course, I've moved everything. Bum, 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 is making borders. So I love a good border on a quilt. I really do. And I think something like this is quite fun to do because it's unexpected. And quite literally, exactly like what we were doing here, but you turn it around and all you're doing is you're actually sewing your triangles into the piece to be able to give yourself a nice border. So on any of the quilts that you can see behind me, you can see any of those. If you wanted to do a little triangular border on this one behind me, for example, you could then have all of the, you can see I've got an inner border there of the light grey. You could have one side of the triangles being a light grey and then the outer side being that dark blue. And it looks so effective being able to do that. It would just be something a little bit different. Like you can see on this one where I've kept the colours the same. You could have the grey being where the white is and the dark blue being where the blue is. And it would just give you a really nice, interesting border once you've made a square quilt like this, having those gorgeous triangles all the way around the outside, and then putting another border on the outside to just make it look as though they're merging in together. So that's a nice little tip with that as well. Now, my favourite thing at the moment, I feel like I'm doing a lot with Vlisolina today because they are one of my most favourite products. What we are doing as well, any order that comes through on the website, the first 30 orders, you get a goodie bag from Vlisolina if you spent more than £35. So I hope you do be able to get your little goodie bag. But this is Styleville Fix.
I have a request
With
as
pleasure.
well. Oh, steady. Once you have completed
Have I ever
this,
said no to you?
There's some people asking about some of the things on the counter.
Absolutely.
So could you possibly hop back over there once you've finished
No problem at all, because
doing
this
what you're doing?
literally takes a minute and a half.
Okay.
Have you made these before?
The little boxes?
The pods.
Yeah.
They're so easy. I love them to bits. So with this, is because I've got this lunar fabric on the sale over there, all I've done is I've cut 5 squares. They can be rectangles, they can be squares, they can be any size you like. I'm using the Styleville, which isn't the gluey one over here. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting out my fabric and the Styleville to be the same size, making sure that they're correct direction. Ask me how I know. And then what you're doing is you're just sewing them together along here. Now, the best way of doing this is to show you on this piece, which is the lining, don't sew the last 1/4 inch because you have to sew the bottom in. So you can sew all the way along here, but always leave this bottom section with a 1/4 inch left over on the end, which is what I have done over here. Okay, so what we're going to do there is I've left that one open, and that one open over there, so I just check I've got those in the right direction. And then to sew these, you quite literally just let the fabric lie on top of one another, and you put them together like that, and you quite literally just sew, because the top doesn't worry about a 1/4 inch, you sew straight down the edge, just remembering to leave a 1/4 inch at the base. There we go. So you can see I've left a 1/4 inch at the base over there, left a 1/4 inch over there, and then because I've sewn these two over here, all I'm going to do now is sew the other side over here. So this product is Styleville, not Styleville Fix. If you did prefer to, because I personally do prefer to glue my fabric down, that product is exactly the same, identical in every way, except it's got an adhesive on one side. So you can then very easily go and stick your fabric down before, oh, it did not like that at all. Your bobbin having a moment. Sorry for that. We've all had that happen before.
My usual trick is I will get most of the way through a project and then it will run out with about this much
Always.
still to sew.
Do you know my worst is when I've bound a quilt and there's been a fault with the bobbin and you've got the whole quilt on, the whole binding on, and it's beautiful, and the bobbin's been ever so slightly out and you just tug on one of the seams and the whole thing comes apart. Right, let's try that again. So there we have, now I haven't put the bottom in, and I'm going to turn it the right way around for you. You've got yourself the start of a little pod. Really sweet. Now with the base, I have actually gone around the edges, 1/8 of an inch around the base to stitch it in, and then it becomes a really easy project to do here, because what you've done is you've left your 1/4 of an inch, just checking I got this the right way around, you've left your 1/4 of an inch gap over here on the edges. So quite literally you just take your base, you line it up to those pieces there, and just like where you ended 1/4 of an inch from the end, you now start 1/4 of an inch away from the end. I leave my needle down, reposition everything. And you can see how we're doing this, that we're just going around and sewing the base into place, leaving that 1/4 of an inch at the beginning and at the end to get everything in place. I always find the third one is the one that gives me problems or difficulties, the third side. So just give it a little bit of welly if you need to. But because this Luna fabric is so gorgeous, I just was looking at it as I was setting everything out, and I decided I'm going to make myself a pod. So with Starvel being in the bag, ready to go, in about 6 minutes, you've got yourself a pod. And the best is, you can see I have rushed that, and I haven't quite got it all square, but when I turn it around and you poke it out, and I'm just using my finger, you can use the iron, you can use what you like, you can't tell that that is a little bit of a rough and ready pod. I've made myself a drop-in lining, which I'm sure I've done exactly the same thing as what I did with the outside. I quite simply drop that in. You got yourself a nice lining. I always have a dark lining in these pods because, like a lady's handbag, which I've used once or twice, how you women find anything in them, I will never, ever know. So I always try and put a dark pod and then just quite simply bind the top. And that is my little demo on how to make a pod. And you can make them any size you like. And this is what I store my packets of squares for what we're going to demonstrate in a moment.
Splendid.
Show me what my questions are.
Well, it's on most of it, to be honest. So if you just want to do the whole lot.
Perfect.
And I will go and move some cameras around. You were on number 3 over there, my lovely. Your iron's having another moment.
No, it's turning off
Okay,
now.
that's fine.
So you won't burn yourself now.
Splendid. So I shall leave this to
Shall
you.
I start down that end or this end?
Whichever you prefer.
I'm going to start with the fizz.
Okay, you do the fizz first. No problem.
Grab my little ombre. I'm coming back, Chris. I haven't run away. So this is the fizz fabric. There are 16 of them. You can see I've arranged them in a sort of ombre. I've got this gorgeous blue. I think they've called this one Lagoon. And then we've got the green. So what I'll do is I'll try and hold up as many of these as I can to get that ombre. I think we can get 3 in there. I'm going the wrong way. The joy of being a slightly larger human being is that your tummy comes in handy when you're holding out the ombre. But what I love about these fabrics, and this is what I think one of the best collections that have come out in a while, is that it ombres so beautifully. And what I love here is you've got the green of these dots here it's exactly the same as the green of the background over here. And then the green we've got in here as well ties in with the green there. And I just find the way that they have thoughtfully used the colouring of these blocks is just so beautiful. So all of these are on the website under, it's iquilt.studio. And I know it's usually .com or .co.uk, but it's iquilt.studio. And the great thing is you can then go through and look up the Secret Sewing Club and every fabric that I have on the shelf here, along with a few more that you probably have already seen. These are all on the website at the moment. There are 185 different products on there. And what I love most about this collection is they've given us these gorgeous 10 beautiful, bold colors. But what's always missing, I find, is the coordinates to go with it. So here we've got a whole collection of neutrals, which go so effortlessly with all of these fabrics. But then, of course, we've got the black and the white with all the colors in as well. So I showed the black at the beginning of the show. This white one is such a gorgeous color, which ties in with every single one of these fabrics. And you can see with all of these is the perfect background for every single one of the fabrics that are on the shelf here. Absolutely stunning. And then last but not least is obviously you've got to have the monochromatic black and white. Black and white goes with everything, but they've kept it as a bubble. And I think they've called this one, the white one, Club Soda of all things. Isn't that fun? And then you just got the black and the white monochrome, which as you can tell there goes with absolutely every single one of those colors. And it just looks like a gorgeous drink of water. And with all of that, you can see you've got those beautiful ombres of colors. I've just wanted to give a little colorway there that you can see all the colors then ombre so beautifully. And it's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous collection of color. So Giuseppe, thank you very, very much for that. Then we've got the Stephanie Organas. I've probably pronounced that totally and utterly incorrectly. Her floral collection. Again, I've got 16 of these. And I think they're called Color Me Pretty is the collection. And these are all the gorgeous different fabrics that she's got in here with all the different designs. And what I love is you've normally got 2 or 3 that are the same design, but you've got them in a different colorway, which means you can then just use the little ombre of color all the way through. I think this one, in fact, actually has 5 of them. No, it doesn't, sorry. Yes, it is this one, it has 5. And you can see they just go so beautifully together. I love the fact that they've done the lighter one with the darker one, and then with these pink and the purples, they just go so beautifully together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ombre these, put these together to show you when you get a bit closer. You see the teal, and they've just thoughtfully done these so well. You've got the teal going so perfectly with that pink, and it's just such a light, effortless colorway. Even when you put that bold mustard in there, they all go so beautifully. And then just ever so subtly dropping that purple in, you can just tell when you build this colorway, it just pops so, so beautifully. And then when you put them in the ombre together as well, it just pops so beautifully. Having that bold, dark pop with that light pop as well with the echoes. And like these 3, these are called the Charm collections with these 3. And again, a really beautiful, if you're just looking for 2 or 3 colors, they all go so beautifully together. And I think what we're missing at the moment is being able to see big collections of color and fabrics going together, because we don't have this as often as we did before. So just being able to show you all these gorgeous colors, like look at those 2. I just, oh, they're so, so pretty. And I'm thinking as well, these are perfect for making kids' clothes, being able to make bags. They're all 100% quilting cotton, so you're not stuck on just making quilts with them. And then we have these beautiful leaves on here as well, which just give you that beautiful finish. I love this whole collection. So I'm now going to try, I'm probably not going to get it right, but we're going to try and get this all together here. And am I going to get this right? Maybe not. But you can see that just pops so beautifully there, the colorways all together. Those are all 16 of them, and they're all for sale by the long quarter on the website. Just look under, when you go to the store or the shop section in the website, just look up the Secret Sewing Club, and they're all on there. And then the tea-dye quilt that we've got over here by Renee Nanneman, that's the colorway that we've used here. We've got 9 different colors. All of these are based on basically tea bags, being able to then just use the colors of the tea bags with the odd color in between. And we've got 9 different colors here, which you can tell just pops so effortlessly and beautifully here. And remember, in my little shop, we don't charge you any extra for the creases in any of the fabric. You get all of those for free with our love and care. because all of them are folded up like that. So that is the collection there called the Tea Dye collection. Now this collection over here is from the quilt here that Nicola so very kindly was hosting on her part of the set. This is called Luna. The pattern is called Luna Tiles. Again, that will be on the website on Tuesday. It's not quite ready yet. My ladies are still pattern proofing it, but the pattern will be on the website on Tuesday. But the colorways that go with it are all of these gorgeous colors. Now, these I am going to open up because I don't think you can quite get the scale of the detail, the metallic, the boldness, the beauty of this collection. I just think it is so fresh and so beautiful. And each one of them, we've got them in either 2 or 3 of the colorways, but I just think that maroony burgundy color there is so gorgeous. And then we've got it as well in the cream. I don't want to pile these up, but I'm just too excited to show you all. I can't decide if the cream or the navy are my favorite because I love the detailing on these. They're just so subtly done. And the metallic, if I move that ever so slightly, you can probably see the metallic reflecting in the lights. So that's the cream. And this is the one that's a toss-up between the cream and the navy, which I think are my favorites. I just wish you could see how that, you can see there the metallic is so beautiful. This collection is Luna. Again, it's on the website, www.iquilt.studio. Look in store and you look and see the, all the items under the Secret Sewing Club. So those are 3 of the 11 fabrics we've got. This one is so beautiful. If anybody in your family loves butterflies, these are the 2 colorways that we've got for this, the purple and the cream. It's more of a lavender than the cream, but just look at that detailing. And I just love the way Makawa do this. They go in, they give you that gold metallic, they give you that detail that not only gives you that shine and reflection, but it also gives you the detailing. Like you can see in that little moon as I move the fabric back and forth, how it just pops and it just reflects so effortlessly. And if that's not enough, you've got stars. Stars in 3 different colorways here. And the way they've done it in the red, this is a navy blue background. It may look black, but it is a navy blue. And I just love the way that they have done this because it's so fun. And again, that metallic is just the star of the show. Imagine that as a beautiful binding on the edge of a quilt that you've done. I think that would look amazing. And then we're in the last section over here, which is called Cosmic Love. It's quite a miracle I can remember all of the names of these fabrics. It's purely by fluke and exhaustion. So this is I don't know whether to call this a burgundy or a maroon, but it's that gorgeous, rich, deep purple there. And I'm moving it back and forth just to drive Chris insane. And you can see there how the lights are reflecting that gold and how it's moving. I just think that when you've got the fabric, I know you can't see it or touch it, but when you can see it moving like that, that reflection just gives you an idea of what it is that you're dealing with. And then we've got the navy. Oh, I just love the navy in this colorway. So, so pretty with this. I think I need another storage pod in this colorway, but I'm moving it back and forth there so you can see the metallic. Oh, I'm being looked at by Hayley. I think she's ready.
I'm ready when you are.
Ready when you are. There's only one more in this collection, so we'll do that.
Perfect.
So we've got this tealy colour over there. What is going on with the back of my head? Sorry. Do you ever do that where you look at yourself on camera and you've got a cockatoo?
Oh, there's always sticky up bits with my hair. That's just a constant. That's a given.
I love it. But now here you can see where they popped in that maroon and that navy from the other collections. Here you can see there, you've got that navy star coming in as well in the background there, just to tie in with all the fabric. It's the way they thoughtfully have made everything go together. Just really, really cleverly done. So this is the Luna collection there. That's 52 fabrics we've looked at now. And I'll bring the rest to you now when Hayley's finished her demo.
Hello, I'm miles away. Hello. Hello. Okay, so.
Can I just point out, I've stolen part of your set as well.
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind. I wasn't expecting to have this much set, so it's all good. So what have we got? We have brought you some things that you should be, if you've seen Craft Yourself Silly before, quite familiar with, and that is our honour rolls. So our honour rolls, I'll do this one because it's the same one as the mat here. So these are 12 metres long. They are one continuous strip. So rather than a jelly roll, which comes as several separate pieces, this comes as one continuous piece. So it keeps going and it keeps going and the colour changes, so it's a continuous ombre. There's 12 metres on here. The pattern repeats every 1.5 metres. So if I just pull a little bit more off so I get round to the oranges, then you can see that kind of starts to match back up there and away you go again. So there is 12 continuous metres on one roll. So you're thinking, what would I use that for? Binding, absolute no-brainer. You can bind a big kind of double bed size quilt. So if you did say 2.2 metres by 2.2 metres square, you'd get all of the way around that and you'd still have a little bit left over. Bag handles, absolutely brilliant for bag handles because they're a nice width and you're good to go. And if you are thinking about bag handles, these guys here are our 2.5 inch batting rolls. This one is in our super stiff batting, so if I give it a squish, you can see kind of holds its shape. It's a needle felted construction, so it's dead easy to use. It doesn't put up, some machines just don't like the foam stabilizers. I don't know what it is about them, they just don't get on with them. And that's fine, that's no problem. This is a needle felted construction. It's the same as most of your battings and waddings that you'd use for your quilting, but it's got that extra bit of rigidity to it. It will kind of hold its shape. So that one's a brilliant one for if you're looking for bag handles and things. We also have a deal on, so if you buy any one of the rolls, now we'll go through all of the colours in a second, if you buy any one of the rolls, you can get 3 of these for the price of 1. So this is your 2.5 inch super slim batting, and that's the one that we recommend. Again, you can use it for bag handles if you wish, but it's the one that we recommend for these things. So jelly roll rugs. Now, the lady who owns the original pattern to this, very protective of it, and I understand why. You know, she did a very good job, and she's very protective of it. So you can get the pattern. You can't unfortunately get the pattern from me because I don't have the license for it. I think that Sasha does, and I think that she's got the kind of rights to demonstrate it. But if you have a look online, there are a few people around the world that have got the license to demo this pattern. It's pretty straightforward. I can show you how you can construct it. I'm just not allowed to show you how to sew it together, but I think you can probably find it on the internet. So you'd get your 2.5 strip of your jelly roll, oh no, sorry, your honor roll. So it's just like a continuous jelly roll really. And then you get your 2.5 inch wide strip roll of your batting as well. So you can see they're exactly the same width. They fit perfectly together, and what you're going to do is fold both sides into the middle and then both sides over together, and you're going to create a great big long tube, 12 meters long. You will have to join your rolls because these rolls are batting off 5 meters long and your fabric is 12, so you will have to do a couple of joins in these, and I will show you a couple of ways to join them. Oh, Nicola, I might need your screwdriver back because I didn't think this through and I put the flower foot on for a demo, but now I'm going to do this.
Come in.
Thank you. Keep that for later. So you create one great big long tube like this, and then you can either start it with a solid piece in the middle, like this one, or you can kind of coil it right from the center and work your way out. But all of those beautiful colors kind of go round and round and do all of that hard work for you. And the same way that Nicola constructs her Quilt As You Go method, it's very, very similar. When you're constructing the tube itself, you're going to use a straight stitch to put it together, and you can see, probably just see that just there. Do you know what? I didn't move my overhead. Bear with, callers.
What do you need?
I'm just going to move the overhead. Yeah, that's fine. You just stand there, Nicola. See, I think then everybody can understand then that literally
you are allowed to demonstrate this because I contacted Bozel themselves because you can't, and we are allowed to demonstrate it. You're not allowed to show the beginning and the end, because
Right.
that is not allowed. But anybody can demonstrate it with pleasure.
So
You are allowed to.
I can show how to make the
Absolutely,
tubes.
just not the beginning and not the end, because that is what is copyrighted.
Right.
And she is quite right. She has worked very hard to do
No,
it.
I mean, we all understand it because we all have patents ourselves and we wouldn't want to infringe on anybody's anything because it's very frustrating. We know it ourselves when people have taken the things that we've done and then copied them.
How many of these have you made?
Um,
They're amazing. But my top tip, anybody who's going to make
do you want to be
one-
honest? None.
You're joking.
No, Sasha made this one
Okay.
and then she was supposed to post it to me before I went out to America and she posted it back to herself.
Hysterical. I love it. But
Posted
these,
it
if
back to
ever you're going to
herself.
make it in a sewing machine, if you're ever going to do this in your own sewing machine, my biggest advice to you is all those spare books that you've got lying around your house, all the old telephone directories, build the biggest area that you can create as a flat surface, lining up with the edge of your sewing machine, and keep going around, because the second you get any ripple in here, it will deviate out the whole
And
way.
plus iron as you go
Yes,
is the other big
time.
tip
But if
for
you
this.
get any ripples, unpick. But anyway, yes, sorry.
So-
I
so-
thought-
thank
you just went and moved your own overhead. I thought I was bossy.
What else are you supposed to do? Because I think then people understand that I am the floor manager. I am the producer.
She writes the theme tune,
I
sings
sing
the theme tune.
Exactly. It is all of that, unfortunately. But because we don't have all of those extra staff and the extra costs, then the people who come on board can pass those costs, pass those savings that we're not charging astronomical prices for, can be passed on. And that's the only way we can do it. We just, shoestring, I think. I don't think it's even as much as a string, is it? It's a, it's a shoe thread.
That's ambitious.
And I wish
fine.
everyone could see that this is it.
Yeah, they can.
Oh,
There's a
look,
great big wide shot.
this is-
Oh, thanks. Could have warned me before I was bending over.
I'm sure we've all seen it before, John.
Right, that conversation too.
So, anyway, back to trying to explain. So, you create your tubes, which we can demonstrate, which is fine. So you are going to fold both sides in, like that, and then fold those two sides together. So what you're going to create are long, straight tubes, like that. You are going to put a straight stitch down there, depending on how much you folded it in, because I haven't folded it all the way there. I've just turned a little bit on either side and then put it together to get wider tubes. If I'm going to do that, then I need to stitch down towards the edge where I've got the fold. If I'm going to fold it fully in half, then I can just stitch straight down the middle. So once you've got that together, you're going to put the whole thing together. You're going to put everything, all the batting rolls and your on a roll together, rainbow rolls, all together, one big thing. And you're going to have this great big ball of kind of twine thing that you're going to have to deal with, but definitely ball it all up, because then when you come to sew the next bit, it's much easier. Now, as I said, if you want to create a slightly larger one, then you can put a panel in the middle. Now this one's just got a plain green because it picks up one of the greens within the piece, but if you wanted to put something that was a bit more of a feature piece in there, absolutely you could. Say if you had some of John's lovely fabrics which have got the kind of beautiful kind of stars and moons and things on, you wanted to add that into the middle, and then you wanted to add something else around the edge, then absolutely you can, because we have got plain rolls of these as well, remember, not just the fancy ones. So first of all, I'm just going to show you a couple of different ways that you can join these rolls. And I'm going to have to just switch my machine foot first, because I was set up for a slightly different demonstration, but that's fine because we change our mind and we do this all of the time. So I'm going to I've got a flower foot on because we have got those on the show as well. They are great little gadgets. They do a beautiful job of just adding a little bit of something to your designs, and especially if you're doing smaller pieces like Nicola's Quilt As You Go, they are brilliant for adding embellishments and things. So let me just see if I can get it's just not quite enough space to get my fingers in to do it. It's because this is a smashing machine, but it does, because it all locks in to create a kind of a hard case, it has this much larger piece on this side, which is sometimes a little bit challenging to get your hand in with. There we go. and this has to come all of the way off. There we go. Let's replace it with its regular foot. Ooh, where's that come from? There we go, that's gone. So we're going to have a look at joining those bits of batting, because there is an offer. If you use the QR code or you head to the Craft Yourself Silly website, then you will be able to see there's a secret sewing club section in the kind of menu at the top. Find that and it will automatically pop up with the offers on there as well. And the offer is, if you pop any of the rainbow rolls into your basket, and that literally can be any colour that you like, and we've got loads of them, any of the rainbow rolls into your basket, and you add 3 of these guys, so 3 of the, this is the super slim rolls, they will take one off. I'm sure it comes as like you get one free kind of thing, or it works out equivalent to you get one free. So they work out roughly about £1 each. So that's brilliant. There's $14.99 for your roll, plus £3 for those. That's a whole jelly roll rug done in £18. So under £18, complete bargain. So we're going to take this. I'm going to just chop a piece off of this one, and then we're going to join it back together, because you've got options with this. Now, first option would be just to join it straight back together with a zigzag, like that. So the 2 pieces butted up together and joined as a zig. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see. There we go. So that absolutely is an option. We're going to do 2 or 3 joins, and we're going to have a look at which one kind of works the best. Let me just pop this onto a zigzag. I've got my speed down. Right. If you're doing this, go slow. And as Nicola said, don't kind of try and force those 2 pieces together, because it's not going to help you and you're going to end up with a lump. Now, problem with, whoops, nearly lost it. Problem with that is, if you do not get that spot on at the beginning, then you may end up with something like that where it hasn't joined. If I go this way a bit more, you might be able to see better. So if you don't get it right at the top, you are going to end up with that. And what you can see is, when I've been holding it, I've just stretched out one side a little bit more than the other. So I'm going to show you a different way that you can do that. But you've got a lovely flat join there, and that's brilliant, because when you are sewing the actual jelly roll together, you're not going to end up with a kind of a bit of a lump. So we're going to chop it apart again, and then we're going to sew it back together again. So we're going to do a kind of traditional join, and so this is if you were joining fabrics together, this is how you do it, and we're going to sew across the diagonal there. So I am going to switch it to a straight stitch and line that up ready. Straight stitch, and you want a 45. I mean, I have not measured a 45 on here. I am just going for it, but ideally you want a 45, or you want something close to it, because remember, this is a needle felted construction. It's got a little bit of play in it, it's got a little bit of stretch in it. You are going to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room in there. So, costume change? What? Costume change? Outrageous.
I'm changing, I'm missing. How dare you? Oh, there's nothing to see here.
Where's your fabric?
You might need to unfold that.
Oh, nothing to see. Nothing to see.
Got to have a different outfit per demo.
So, no, who's got time for that?
Clearly I do.
Me and Hayley
Apparently he does. So, that would be your traditional join. Now you are going to get that little bit of extra bulk on the back, and you can trim that down a little bit further than I have there, but you don't want to go too far, because if you go too far, it will obviously fall to bits. So we're going to try one more way, and we are hopefully going to get a kind of combination of the 2 results. So I'm going to take this off already. This is the scary bit. So now we've got to hold it still, and we are going to try our very best to put this back together. I need to just shuffle that along a little bit, because I've not cut them on quite the same angle here, but that's fine. I'll trim it back. So we don't want it too pointy, because if we make it too pointy, we are not going to get it to match up. So I'm going to rack it back onto the zigzag, and there we go. And I've got a little bit of an overlap there, but not a huge amount. But that little bit of overlap is going to get squashed down by the zigzag stitch that I'm adding. But having those two layers is going to strengthen the whole thing kind of at the same time. So I'm going to pull that out. So then we have the best of both worlds. Now I did not cut those on the same angle, so obviously that looks a little bit longer on that side. So we'll just trim that back to its 2.5. But if you start with the same angle, then that will work. And then you've got a perfectly flat join there. So when you're coming through and you're coming through with all your layers, you're not going to get that bulky seam in the middle there. So it's much flatter than this one here, which is going to give you that double seam. And it's much more stable than that one, where if you are not spot on, you are going to get your little thing, little kind of joins or bits that don't maybe quite add up. So that is the way that I would recommend putting them together. Slight overlap, not a huge amount, just again, about 1/4 inch, about maybe not even that, maybe about 3 millimeters, something like that, where you're 1/8 of an inch, where you're just going to be able to catch both of those layers in the zigzag, which means it's much, much stronger. Can you see if I pull this one? Do you want to go that way? There you go. Can you see that? It's just on to pull apart. This one, you've got the bulk, and then that one, super strong. So if you are going to go for a jelly roll rug, then the on a roll battings are brilliant, because all you need to do, 2 joins, that's your whole rug done. And the fabrics that you've got, they all come as continuous pieces anyway, so you're not going to have to mess around joining those. They are continuous pieces. So I'll very quickly run through the colourways that we've got. If I get time, which I don't think I'm going to, later on, then I will go through the flower foot, which I've brought as well. So what have we got? We have Tropical Bloom. Tropical Bloom is all of your kind of oranges into purples. So if I show you that one. And then you can get the same, but without the spots. There's a kind of a plain, I'm calling it a plain version, but you know what I mean. It's still an ombre, but it just hasn't got the spots on. And then the next one I've got is Beside the Seaside. So this one is all of your blues into greens, into yellows, all of your kind of tropical sea colours. There you go. And then we've got Autumn Leaves. But I'm just going to go mad that I've opened all of these. She's not here though. If she was here, then she can whinge at me. She'll whinge at me on Monday, it's fine. I'll get it caught up, don't worry. This one is all your autumnal tones. So going right from your yellows into your ochres, into your pale pastels, with browns and oranges in there as well. Then we have our full rainbow. So that is the one that you can see on the sample here. That has literally got every colour known to man in it. So if you're looking for something that is a complete catch-all, so for things like Cafe quilts or Tula Pink, anything that's got loads and loads of bright colour in, then this is a great one to go for. Then I have Violet Vibes. Whoa. Should have maybe opened these before we started, but this is how they'll come to you. So, you know, it's just good reference, good reference. So this one has all of your purple and green tones in there. This is one of the most popular ones that we do. We've got quilts made up in this and they look absolutely amazing because it's all of those kind of in nature tones that you'd have. It's all the kind of, you know, the green leaves and the purple flowers going into those really dark kind of navies as well. And then we've got Sky Blue Pink. So that one is pinks into blues. It does exactly what it says on the tin, Sky Blue Pink. Then there is Fade to Grey. which is, well, again, I mean, it doesn't need that much explanation, I don't think. It's greys going through into blacks. Never really hits full black, never really hits full white, so it's really easy that you could put a black or a white with it, or you could just go with even more greys and more muted tones. There are 3 more designs which I have here. They are all the same colour palette as this one here. So they're all the same colour palette as in the matte, so it's full rainbow, but they have different patterns on the outside of them. So you've got one with these circly dots, turn it around, there you go. You've got this one which we've called Crazy Paving. I think it looks a little bit like a giraffe. And then there's another one with stars as well. So you've got those 3 options. So if you wanted to take those 3 and put them with another one to make it go that bit further, then any of the solid rainbow options, either in the spots, or I'm forever blowing bubbles as they're called, or the solid rainbows, perfect. They all work with those as well. So, Nicola, have you finished your chat?
Yeah, we were just looking to see if there were any questions for you.
There's always...
We were working, looking on YouTube. We were looking on YouTube, we were looking on Facebook
It's
to check if you
hard,
had
isn't
any
it, when there's
questions.
4?
It's not hard.
There's 4,
I know,
and you're like,
so I suddenly went, nobody's asked Hayley any questions.
oh, it's all right.
And so we were looking.
Which one's your favourite?
Yeah, which one?
I like Tropical Bloom. I like this one. I think it's one of my favourite colourways. It goes nice with my
I like
jumper.
this one.
Colours. Yeah, that goes with your shirt.
My new shirt, yes. You know.
Yeah.
The other one was unlucky. I had no sales, so I thought I'd change shirts. When in doubt, change shirts.
But,
What do you think that's what put people off the shirt?
no, I think John was hiding his light under a bushel because
I very much doubt that. I don't know that there's a bushel big enough.
because there is.
She's fat shaming me.
No, I just meant the
know
light
exactly
was
what
very
So
big.
I'm going to let you into a secret. John has got something that I know you're not going to be able to get anywhere
You can't.
else.
I
And he's
forgot I
been
had it.
hiding it under his bushel. And I'm like, get that
I
out,
forgot
sort
it.
that out of your
I
bushel.
forgot it under in my shop. I was going through the bundles and I was like, oh,
So you just
Okay.
wait till John shows you this because
these are really good.
I know,
like them.
we've had them for a little while.
know why I'm
They're kind of
surprised.
consistently popular for
Can I
us.
tell you a scary figure?
What's that?
You know, I started working for you 8 years ago this week.
Ah, it's mad, isn't it?
This week. 8 years ago
Wow,
this week.
that's
I
a
started
long
working
time.
for you.
you
That's why
worked.
you did for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years he came in and did shows for us.
Oh.
She's awesome to work for, provided you got the fabric in the shop.
Well,
Well, there you go.
that's, well we've
That's
all
not
had
you.
problems
That's
with
not you.
suppliers, haven't we?
That's
Yeah.
not you.
But
Shall I
anyway,
head off to
yes,
mine?
if you could
chat,
head that way.
I'll head off back. and,
Splendid.
shall I start again?
Yes, and then I shall move dinosaur cam for you in a minute.
Dinosaur cam. It does look
It
like
does look a lot
Can
like
we
that.
decorate it?
Well, there's nothing to stop us. I mean, I think we could make a
Right.
little, almost like bunting
Yes.
to go across
No,
the
but
top
I'm thinking
of it.
wings on the side.
Oh, like a dragon.
Like a proper dragon. Can we
Do you
call
know
it
what?
Haley?
I can just see
Actually,
what's going to
Emma.
happen
We
here.
can call it Emma.
I know what's going to happen here. Somebody's going to come in tomorrow, or Tuesday. I think Dan's in tomorrow with
Right.
some studio shows, and it's going to be fully
I
decorated.
love it.
There's going to be wings and eyes.
I
And
really hope they send us pictures. That'd be really good.
are you
all
ready, my
for
love?
us? Can we just say, has everybody looked at her necklace? Because I know she doesn't talk about her necklaces, but you sell those on your website.
She
the
does.
gifts, don't you?
I do,
does,
I
she
do.
does.
And she's doing that all with the new Alison Glass fabric as well.
Oh,
Alison Glass and Juicy Juice.
John, no, it's my fabric range. Yes, it's true. It is the new
is.
Alison Glass Juicy Juice range. I have.
Stay still.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. What camera am I?
Number
Number
one.
one.
Oh, hello.
Always number one.
I said, this is my necklace. Beautiful, ain't it? Beautiful. I have 4 flavours of this necklace. I have 2 Tringle flavours and 2 hexagon flavours. Although the hexagon flavour is nearly down to 1 because I've sold so many at Stitch Festival, which was amazing.
Is that the one
You
that's
said
in
something
London?
That made me interested. What's a Tringle flavour?
Well,
That's amazing. Sorry, I'll go
it's
away now. I know
Tringles.
we were all wondering.
It's a Tringle, so this is a Tringle.
Right.
And the flavours are the different flavours of fabric.
So clever.
They're just flavours, aren't they?
Love it, love it, love it. Sorry, I'll go in.
I have ingredients and I have flavours and all sorts. Yeah, so these are on my website. I'm not doing them today, but there might be a new one coming as well. Just saying, just working on things as they come. So I'm back at the counter. I'm doing the 5-inch square, the 5 by 2.5 inch rectangle, and the 2.5 inch square. There's options, so you can buy them individually. If you've got one of them already, you might want the others. There's an option where you buy all 3 and you're saving lots of money. Or if you want to buy the rectangle and the square together, I'm giving you this pattern for free. And this is my Bricking It quilt pattern, which relates to the quilt behind me. So this is my brand new quilt, Bricking It. And this is the front of the quilt. And then I will show you the back. Because it's Quilt As You Go, you can get 2 flavours of quilts. 2 flavours, see what I'm... So I've got a zigzag on the back. So you get 2 double-sided. And this is great if you've got fur babies like me, because my fur babies lay on my quilts. If somebody's come in, I just turn them over. I've got a brand new quilt and I don't have to worry about the hair. So that's that. So that's my new Bricking It quilt pattern. Now these patterns are all on the website as well. They all relate to the rectangles and the squares. So I've got the log cabin quilt pattern. I've got the stepping stones quilt pattern. I have the zipped bucket bag and the bucket bag pattern. And this is quite interesting. This has got a whole tutorial on Missouri Star Quilt Company. When I was out in Missouri, I did a tutorial for them. So that's on Missouri Star Quilt Company YouTube channel. And that takes you from the beginning of the bag right through to the end. So that's available. And then also my lovely zipped tray bag. So that is, these are all using the templates that I've got available. Then I've got the zipped tray bags, and I've got 5 varieties, 5 flavours actually, 5 flavours of tray bag now. So I've got the bees, I've got the Tula Pink raccoons in violet, I've got the Moda Antique patches, I've got the Tula Pink in turquoise, and the Moda Pixels. So there's 5 flavours of tray bags, zip tray bags. So they're zipped up, they look like this. Gorgeous. And then opened up, they look like this. So keep all your bits in. So when you've got all your bits in there, nothing will fall out because you've got the sides. So when it opens up, it's great for all your little tiny bits of sewing equipment. And if you're going out on courses and things, it all stays in the tray when you unzip it. It doesn't roll everywhere. Good for makeup as well. All sorts of things, pencils, all sorts of things. Amazing. And you can use it in the kit. You've got everything you need. You've got the templates, you've got the fabrics, you've got the wadding. Oh, I'm missing the little snap fasteners off that one. Everything's there that you can make that kit when you receive it. Now you receive it from me, because me and Dave package up all the orders, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. And you need to go to the QR code there or to my website there. So come to our store and have a look. The other thing I forgot to mention last time is I have a Daisy and Grace Quilters Facebook group, and that is amazing. There's a whole community of people. I think we're nearly up to 9,000 people on there, and they post their projects using their Daisy and Grace makes, and it's amazing. And there was actually, there's been some really fabulous projects that have been using these templates recently. One was from a guy called Oliver, made an amazing quilt, looked like stained glass. There was another lady who's made little pockets. There's quilts. Oh, it's amazing. So if you're on Facebook, come and join us on Daisy and Grace Facebook group, because there's lots going on there, and I also give little freebie things away through the month as well. Well, have done, so watch that space. Next I've got the zipped bucket bags, and again these sold really well at Stitch Festival. I've only got a few left, so I have put them down to £40 each, and in the kit you are getting all your fabrics, your 2 templates, your quilt pattern, your zip. You're getting interlining if you want to make it sturdier, so that's in there. Not the wadding, unfortunately, because it's too much volume. And the bag handle interlining. So those kits were 45 down to 40. But then I'm going to go to the demo table, and I have got one. Oh look, they're chit-chatting next to me. They can be seen. Hello. There was a nice view of you.
Well, we were chatting.
Yeah. Look there we go.
Good afternoon. What you expect?
Yeah, they were
I'm
busy
comfy.
chit-chatting.
This is.
I don't know what camera we're on, but hello.
I think it's over
They
there.
were chit-chatting. So, and the other thing that I've got today are my Moda bundle, which is the Bloom and Grow, Bloom and
Read the words again.
Yeah.
Really
Oh,
beautiful.
they were cool, weren't they? Yeah, Bloom and Grow. And on this, I love a text fabric. I'm a glutton for text fabric. It says, let's see where it starts. How lovely the silence of growing things. Friends are like flowers in the garden of life. To those, my mind, to lose my mind and find my soul, I must have flowers. Always and always, and into the garden I go. Oh, there's some lovely words on that. There we go. Beautiful. I love a text. So that's the last thing that I have today. So that's my Moda Bloom and Grow Fat Quarter bundle or Fat Eighth bundle. But I want to play. So now can I just,
What do you need?
Hayley,
Get it.
can I have all the patterns?
All of them.
All of the patterns?
Every single one.
Yeah, go for it. Thank you.
Is that enough? Do you want more?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's
Okay.
perfect. That's all the ones I need. So I wanted to show you the patterns, especially the quilt patterns. Not so much those ones, but the quilt patterns. There are so many things you can do with the squares and the rectangles. So I have pre-made some squares, rectangles to play with, to show you how easy it is to create your own designs. So these are done for you, and all the fabric quantities, etc. in here. Even in the, you even get some design sheets so that you can colour, if you want a certain look to a quilt, you can colour them. It gives you all the instructions. What else have we got in here? There, you've got the back of the quilt here, and in here we've look, loads of lovely designs here. And again, in the stepping stones, you've got the back, you've got a quilt design sheet there. But let's play with the squares and the rectangles, because there's just so many good things that you can make with these. So normally when I'm at home, I'm going to go to the overhead. So Chris, I'm going to press my button for the overhead shot. So this is very boring, but look, I'm going to bring in a square. Then I'm going to bring in a rectangle. And then I might bring another square in. And then I might bring another rectangle. And can you see we've got the start of a quilt. And then you can play. So I'm going to put we'll put another square there. Oh, we'll put a square here. But then does that fit rectangles? Oh, yeah, we can put rectangles this way or that way. and we can change it up.
Hello,
Oh,
I've
I'm
just
playing.
come for a small visit.
Good.
We've got a question on YouTube from Claire. What is your angel policy?
My angel policy is that anything that you make using my templates and patterns, you may sell.
Yes, absolutely. If you can be bothered to make it,
You can sell
you can sell it.
What you can't do is copy my templates
right.
or copy my patterns or sell in like the actual pattern. You can't. If you get this and you copy this, I'll have you.
Do you know what the rules are? It's $10,000 per time you send it on. So
Wow.
it's $10,000
You
every
don't
time.
want to do that.
No, but and you don't get the money, the government does. And you know the government loves going after people for money, so please be
do.
careful, don't
But
do it.
anything you make from my templates or my patterns, you can sell on. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. So back to this. I was playing before we went on air with this, and I came up with a really nice design, and I should have taken a picture because now I'm trying to think of what I did, and I cannot remember. But I'm going to move these, and I'm going to place those. Oh, I really wish I remembered what I had done. I'm going to start again. So I think I'm going to put some squares here. And this just frees you up to play with what you've got and create something amazing. I think I've got it. I think I've sorted it out. So look, this could be quite cool. Something like this. Amazing. And you can work in blocks. So like for the log cabin, that starts with a square in the middle, and then it has rectangles around it. And then you just keep going. So I think it goes there and there. See where we're going. There we go, and you start building a log cabin. So this can really get your creative juices going, just using your templates and placing the different shapes and colours. You've got design sheets to play with. Just get playing with those shapes and get designing. So that is a really good play, and I am going to, I need Hayley if she can.
I was busy sorting Michelle out.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What do you need, my lovely?
I need to grab the next demo. Because,
Yeah, where is it?
No, well, I know where it is, but I just need...
Oh, you just need me to stand here?
And look pretty for me, if you don't mind.
You've got to pretend you're at the Oscars and you're a film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
you've
look,
done it, you see?
See,
That
but
wasn't
I just didn't want to leave
Okay,
everyone in
thank
the
you.
lurch.
Let me go and see if I was just messaging Michelle because she is up next. It's going to be...
Oh, is she?
Well, sort of. Yes,
Oh.
sort of. It's going to be about 4:20 past 4. So what will happen is Nicola will finish her demo, John will do his, then we'll stop, but then we'll restart it again for Michelle for you. So I have...
Have I overrun?
No.
No, we've got loads of time.
Oh, okay.
Loads of time.
Because I want to show that.
Because this is what happens with me and Matt. Yeah, loads of time, loads of time, loads of time. No time. It's what happens. Have you come to join in?
Oh, look, it's yeah, my project tickets.
Thank you.
No, you're not having it. That's my buttery soft plastic. You're
Your
not
buttery
having
soft plastic. Don't be messing with a lady's buttery soft plastic.
That is really beautiful.
Buttery soft plastic.
That is beautiful.
I know. I only have Bootiful. I only like Bootiful in my life. So I am going to show you. Look, I'm a complete mess because I've got everything. But look. Oh, sorry. That way. Look at that. So these are half square triangles. Are they, you think? Yes. Look at that, half square triangles. So this is using a 2.5 inch square, but doing it as a 1/2 inch triangle. So I have got, need some more things. I'm so totally disorganised today. I'm very organised. I normally am, aren't
No,
I?
I should give you one of my rolls that changes colour for these little squares.
You should.
I should. I'll go and get one. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Just cut me a little bit. Can I have a little bit off of it?
I've got a spare one.
Ooh, check me out.
Ooh, that's a pretty colour.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that would go with the purples in this.
I've got a spare one. Look, it's all purples and blues and greens.
Can I take a...
You can have the whole roll.
Oh, thanks, Hayley.
You don't get one.
John's not getting one. I am.
You don't get one.
So look,
Okay with that.
so this works perfectly with Hayley's. Oh, I hate doing this because I have to stand up. I'm going to put it that way and I might be able to do it. There we go. This works perfectly with these rolls. Look at that, my template fits on perfectly. Why? 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches. Hey presto, Bob's your uncle. There we go, done. One square. Now, and I'm going to use that in this. So this is a tube that I have joined 2 pieces of fabric and I've stitched a 1/4 inch seam allowance on both edges. And what I'm going to do is take, that's what I'm looking for, take my square inner and my outer, place it inside. It's got these score lines on it. Now if I run those score lines up against that seam allowance, let's move my inner out and cut that. I'm going to show you some magic. And I think never cut towards you, don't do what I do, do what I say. Oh, I lost my scissors as well.
Oh, I stole your scissors before. You've got
No,
them.
it's all right. I put them out of your reach, Hayley.
So I couldn't steal them again.
No. So look, I've cut that out. Now, if I press that open, I've got 2 sides of fabric. So what I need to do is just give that a little press. I was so busy making another project, Hayley, that I forgot that I had demos to do. So I'm just going to set that seam. Like John said, really good. If you set your seam, you get really lovely results. And on this one, I am going to open the seam allowance like so and give that a press. And just make sure it's okay on the other side. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. I'll move that out of the way. And then you take this back, put it on top, and then you put your wadding, which you can use the wadding rolls as well because they're 2.5 inches. Pop that inside on there, and away we go again. It's as simple as that. I will just show you on this one how to mitre your corners. So you can mitre your corners. So what you do is you fold that over to meet that corner there and give that a finger press and fold that over and do the same that end like that and put that on top. Then you go again. Now you can do all 4 corners, but for speed I'm just doing 2. You fold that in like you did, like I explained the other one, where you fold your binding to meet the inside shape, and you fold again, and you fold over and pin, and then we get to this corner and you fold over and pin, and then when you get to this side you fold again and you pin, and then you get a little mitered corner. How beautiful is that? Now you can do that once that's pressed, that'll go in. You can do that on all 4 corners, but that's a nice easy way, and then you will get the 1/2 and 1/2 square triangles. You can do it on the inside as well. I think I had, here look, I had one I prepared earlier where you've got the same each side as well, so that it becomes. Hello.
I'm just like sneaking in and looming at you.
Yeah.
I
feel like I've done something
It's not
naughty.
very often I get to loom.
I know. I know.
Well,
You've moved your box.
There, how's that? So I've got a question from Yvonne. She says, "Is Nicola's?"
Hello, Yvonne. I know Yvonne. Well,
Is-
not know you, but you're one of my Daisy and Grace quilters.
Oh, lovely. Is Nicola's 6x4 template the postcard template?
Oh, I do know Yvonne actually.
There you go.
I do, because I'm coming to her quilt group in a little, in a few weeks. It's that Yvonne. Yvonne, my new 6x4 is the postcard template, and that. So I do a thing, Hayley, called a Sunday stitch up,
Okay.
and I do it after Secret Sewing Club
Oh.
because I'm not competing.
No, there's space for everybody. There's space for everybody.
So one Sunday a month I do a Sunday stitch up, and I'm doing this thing called Project Postcard.
Okay.
Not Project Runway like the
No.
Project
Project
Postcard.
Postcard.
And I want everyone to start playing. So it's not about Daisy and Grace, it's about playing with sewing.
Okay.
And I'm giving lots of hints and tips and free things to do. And I want people to make postcards. Now, the point is, because there's like nearly 9,000 people on my Daisy and Grace Facebook group,
That'd be a lot of postcards if they all make you one.
I thought that, and I thought because they're all over the world, what a lovely idea to swap them all. But
Oh, here we go.
you haven't got your act together, and there's not that many being made.
Well, I wondered, I have just under 13,000 people on my
Oh.
Facebook.
Oh,
Should we merge the two and do post groups from one group to another? Wouldn't that be fun?
Like pen pals, like sewing
but
pen
remember,
pals.
that was such an interesting. Do you remember we used to do
Yeah.
postcards and letters and things?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
I'm
all
still at
gone
the
out.
It's all gone. It's
Gone.
all emails and things.
no, but we're of a generation that means something. And
I'm
most
29.
oh, my hay fever's really bad, John.
He's
No,
not.
but that's not a bad idea. Because I think
29.
it's so fun being able to do that.
See, Michelle's even texted and said he's not 29.
I'm very
Oh yes.
tired. I'm very tired.
John, you're aging so
Disgracefully.
badly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing. Get your peeps.
Exactly. To
And
talk to your
he
people.
just
To postcard, to message
think
each
about it,
other.
He
such
just
a-
wanted to boast that he had 13,000. I've only got 9.
It's. I really.
many you got,
Do you know how?
I've got no idea because Emma looks after that.
Do you know what happened? About 3 Christmases ago, I did a live feed on my Christmas tree, and I got 10,000 people overnight liked my Facebook page overnight.
For your
with this
Christmas tree?
It was a really good tree. I didn't make it, but it was such a positive thing, and I ended up with. That's how it all started. And then when being on Sewing
Oh,
Street,
there
and
you
all that
go.
as well. It just grows, and it's not about the number; it's the quality.
Exactly.
And my Daisy and Grace quilters.
Exactly.
Oh.
We're all surrounded by amazing people
We are,
who
we are,
literally
actually.
uplift us
We
every
are.
week.
We are.
I'm
very
just,
lucky.
I'm just looking at this.
Oh yeah,
as
See,
well.
this was a box that I was going to make.
you know what?
And that's all my
We've-
selvages.
We've just cut thousands of charm squares and layer cake.
And you've got all the
I've
selvages.
got boxes full of these.
Bundle them up and I'll
Send them to you.
And I'll send. I'll do a postcard.
And
using them.
literally, I have meters and meters and meters of them.
Hayley,
Okay, I'll go.
Between the two of us, we will use your salvages. 'Cause I have so many salvages. I love them. I've never
love
thought about
salvages.
what to do with them, and that is gorgeous.
this is going in a box like this, you know, like John's
Oh, I
box.
thought they were
Placements.
coasters.
Well,
They're a
could
good
be.
size for that
They
too.
could be, but I was actually going to pop them. I've got lots of these boxes like John's, it's like that, and I was going to pop.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry,
So
I
there you go.
interrupted you with the question,
No.
and then we went off on tangents.
That's
and-
what it's all about, though, isn't it?
I'm so in love with that half square triangle back. It is so clever.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Gorgeous.
Right.
And I like
and
the
I
way.
feel really bad because
I
I,
like it
bought all
shadowed.
your templates from their Missouri Style Quilt Company before, because the first day you were on there, The very first day you were on, I bought every single template of yours that were there because I wanted to support. And it was just, I love them. They're still in my little box, and I adore them.
They were amazing. The first day they launched was their first triple play. So that was their first ever triple play, Misty, Natalie and Jenny. It was a Black Friday.
Go. All of it going on then.
And do you know how many templates they sold in one day?
Only to me.
15,000.
Whoa, that's madness, isn't it? Did you have to make all these?
No, they made
That's
them.
all right then.
Yeah, that's
I was like, oh no, Dave would be mega busy.
You understand that?
Yeah.
We're going to let you carry on with your day.
No, well,
So I'm going to let you finish that.
Well, I think I'm finished.
And when you're ready, if you pass it over to John, I am going to go and sort out Michelle, who's going to be coming up after this.
Okay, so look, the mess on my table, I think I'm finished because...
I'd run away. Just leave it, somebody will clear it.
Look at the mess I've created. This is my head, by the way. My head is like going off in tangents. And, oh, yeah, all right, Chris, don't zoom out too much.
No, Chris is playing it well done. I like that.
Oh, no.
That's really impressive.
But it looks so pretty.
It is.
It's so pretty.
Oh, I know what. I'll just take that off your desk and lose it for you. No, this.
Oh, no, no.
It's always a good style when somebody wants to nick your things.
We haven't got magic hands, we've got thieving hands.
Right.
So I'm going to pass you over to the lovely John.
Right, so we will have a little look at the fabrics first. We've got a last little collection here of the fabrics. I'm trying to find my camera. Hello, number one.
You're right, Chris.
So we are currently, I think I'm on number 4, there we go. We are currently looking at this. Now, you knew about this.
No, don't show them.
These are the most gorgeous fabrics.
Not having them.
Rainbow Garden. This is, you know, this is my favorite.
No, John.
Is this not the most delicious fabrics?
Can I tell everyone?
Rainbow Garden.
You cannot get this fabric for love nor money except for with John.
There's one bundle left in the half metre and one in the long quarters because it's just was so popular. But I just love it. But the details, because which one have you used?
I've had this one. I didn't have though. I didn't have the rest of them, and I don't know why I didn't have the rest of them. They're just
Probably because I got
gorgeous. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
these, I just love the way they've done it, and ombres all the way through.
Look, and then look at that.
Oh, the detailing of these with the butterflies are incredible.
I've done it the right way. Look at that.
And then you've got each one of them is a black and a white, because they went through a stage doing just black and white fabrics, and you can just tell how they change with those different things there. They're just so good.
And then look at that with that. And then put that with that. And then, oh
But
my
now
goodness.
these would be perfect with those little squares you've just done.
I know, because...
You could fussy cut those out.
Hang on.
You've given me your cough, 2 seconds.
Sorry, well, unless you got hay fever. Look at that. Perfect. Oh my goodness, John.
Wouldn't they look good?
Okay.
Because
you've
that,
only got one
can
of
you
each.
imagine that, but then get your larger template?
Oh, that's not out.
It is, it's there.
Yeah.
No, that one there.
Oh, the outside.
And then you can do that for the outside.
Oh.
You see? You find the right one, you do that one on the inside, and then you can do the black on the outside, and then alternate it round. Isn't that good?
I'm having a moment, John.
I know.
I'm having...
Anyway, so
But
there's
you've only
only
got-
one
oh.
half metre there before I nick your
okay.
parcel.
That's
There's only
fine.
one half metre bundle and one long quarter bundle left of this.
Yeah.
If you look up Rainbow Garden on the website, you'll see it.
I'm going.
Off you go?
I'm going because I'm going to get
Fastest
on my...
finger first.
You knew what I was up
So
to.
that is the last of this collection here. I've only got one left of them. So those are the rainbow fabrics there. And then, of course, we've got the unicorn collection as well. We've only got a handful of these as well. But these are the coordinating fabrics. Now, I always think making things for kids is quite hard. So what we've got here is we've got the rainbows, we've got 4 colours of the stars, but I always find matching colours quite difficult for customers. So I wanted to be able to create some back sort of filler, if you like, to be able to give people the option of bulking out these fabrics. So those are the coordinating fabrics which go with this panel. Now this panel is available on the website as well on its own, so you can get the panel on its own without the coordinating fabric, but I think you can agree that is such a super, super cute design, and also really good because these squares at the top are all the same size. So if you wanted to make those Starville boxes like I've just made, you can then go and do that same thing using this panel to be able to create the little boxes using the smaller pieces on here. And the detailing on it is so adorable. Just such fun, vibrant colors. And I just love it. And what my favorite thing is on the edges, so that they don't end up with wasted fabric, they've got these amazing little flowers on the top of each panel to be able to use these fabrics here. And you can just see that little extra pop of color on the outside. I think that just works so, so beautifully on there. So that bundle, you get that panel, as well as, this is the double-sided border. So one side is like that, and Chris, don't kill me, I'm just turning it around. The other one is identical, it's just a half pattern repeat off. So this is available in the bundle as well. So you're getting this panel, the unicorn panel I've just done, and then the 10 coordinating fabrics to go with it. We've got this by the 1/2 meter or by the fat quarter, or, sorry, long quarter. I can't remember if it's fat quarter or long quarter. Sorry, you'll have to check the website. We've got these as bundles available, as well as selling this unicorn panel on its own as well. So this is on its own as well. So that is called the Unicorn Bundle. You're welcome to have a little look at that. And then we've got two of the last two bundles we got are the animated bees. Now these I think are so fun and vibrant and just cute. They're really sweet. We've got a nice ombre of color here with a couple of pops in the middle with this red and the green, the red and the yellow and the blue, with going down to the grays, going to the black. They're just such a fun, fun color, and the design is the same all the way along. And you can just tell, look at the little bees. They just look so happy. I love this. We've called this animated bee. So you'll be able to find that on the website under animated bee. We've got long quarters and 1/2 meters on that one. And then the last bundle we've got is the owl bundle. Now I'm going to show you the panel. Let me check I've got this the right way round. There we go. So this panel is a tree with all the owls in it, which I just think is so fun. And the great thing is having put these squares around the outside, it does make it easier then when you're looking for coordinating fabrics to go with this. But if you didn't want to use a solid, we have then got the coordinating fabrics that go with it. Bear with caller while I just fold these up. I don't want my desk to look like Nicola's did. Oh, the shade. But look at that. Aren't they sweet? But look at the owls.
And then you were rude to me.
I was never rude. Good thing we've known each other for years. Hey?
Just shady.
The shade of it all. I can't find my camera now. There we go, red, number 5. And then we've got it in white as well, which is such a great colourway. Uh-oh, we always know it's trouble when Hayley comes bounding into the room with her laptop.
Uh-oh.
So we've got that one as well.
I'm just trying to sort Michelle out.
I love this colourway here with the pinks, but then don't get me wrong, we've also got it with the blues and the greens and the purples, and all of that then tying in to the panel that comes in this bundle as well. And then just look at these groovy flowers here as well. So this is the owl bundle on the website as well, available in fat quarter and in 1/2 meter. So you'll be able to have those and check those out. But I want to show you the star of my little show today is Quilters Grid. Now I know all of you have used Quilters Grid, or you've heard of Quilters Grid, or you want to use Quilters Grid. And what I'm going to show you is we have made this gorgeous cushion. This comes as a kit, so you'll get everything you need for the front and for the back, and you'll get a piece of wadding for the middle, and you'll get the Quilters Grid. The only thing you don't get is the backing to make the cushion. Now the reason being is I've done this class for about 150 people now, and one of the ladies at the very beginning, she picked up the kit, and this is the kit she got, so I'll show you what she got because this is exactly what she got. And we took it out, and I'll tell you the story while I'm doing this, just to show you. So for the kit that you get when you do the class, this is already stitched down, glued down for you. If you want it glued down, pop it in your notes when you check out, and I will glue those down for you. And then you get a spare piece of Quilters Grid. This is amazing. If you make a quilt and your seam is ever so slightly too small, snip off a piece of this, put it over your seam that's just a little bit too small, and that just saves that seam from failing behind you. Then you get yourself a nice big piece of wadding, which you can use to cover that. You get some blurb about how to find me. You get your border fabric for the 4 border sides, you get your cornerstones, and then you get your backing fabric for it over here. Now, the reason I stopped providing the backing of the cushion was this lovely lady in the class turned around and said to me with great gusto and determination, I really don't like your background fabric. I'm going to use my own fabric because I don't like your fabrics. And she made a good point, because a lot of times you'll make something, you don't love it, so you put your own fabric on one end of the cushion, put my fabric on the other end of the cushion, and if you've got people coming around you don't like, and you don't like my fabric, put that out, and then they won't stay as long, and then put your fabric on when you're enjoying it.
How rude.
I know, it's fine. You've got to give it, you've got to take it.
I
So
like
that
to
is
say.
the kit that you're going to get. So the one that you'll get now is going to have 25 of the squares in the middle. This is the design that I have chosen to do it in. You can do it however you choose. There is no right or wrong. You can use it however. Nicola, are you able to move the dinosaur?
Yes, I'll try.
I kind of want the cameras to watch Nicola moving the dinosaur now.
Oh dear.
So that is the last kit that we've got to do this. Now, Quilters Grid, many of you, I'm sure, have used Quilters Grid before. Some of you probably haven't. So what I wanted to do was to show you why I personally love Quilters Grid. Keep going, keep going. Keep going a little bit more, a little bit more. Keep going, about another meter. Another meter, another half meter. Perfect. That'll be perfect. So Quilters Grid looks like this. You have got a fusible side on one side. So this side is fusible because you can feel it because it's bumpy. And the side that's not fusible has a grid, which is an inch square. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So the bumpy side over here is where you're going to glue everything down. And what I do is whenever I do any form of squares, now I'm a reasonably good sewer, I'm quite good with quilting, but every time I piece any piece without Quilters Grid, and you can see on the back I've done it without Quilters Grid, I never match my points. My points, there is always a point missing. But when I use Quilters Grid, it doesn't matter what I do or how I do it, every single point is met. It is always perfect. It is always spot on. It is point perfect every time. And your biggest decision is, are you going to cut your seams open or are you going to leave them closed? So for me, I personally prefer cutting my seams open. I do, but it takes a lot longer. Now, I've made Tilda embroidery flower vase quilts before. Check the website if you want to have a look and see what those are. I've made those and I've cut the seams open and they look amazing. I've also made that quilt. I've made it 9 times now, but I've also made it without cutting the seams open. And all that happens is you just end up with a little bit more bulk on this side. But the joy of this is you get to make, this is pumpkins upside down, you get to make teeny tiny, toony little pumpkins, okay? Now, behind Hayley a little while ago, you would have seen on the wall, we have got the pumpkin on the wall. Now, I'm seeing camera 6 is moving there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go over here and show you what Quilters Grid is really amazing at. Hopefully, there we go, thank you very much. What Quilters Grid is really amazing at is that you're able to take any size squares and make them your own. You can do them like this with 2-inch squares, they come out at 1.5, or you can do them as 1-inch squares, which come out at 1/2, or you can do them as 1-inch squares that come out at 1/2 without trimming your seams, or with trimming your seams. So both are correct. There is no right or wrong, but the joy of Quilters Grid is it is absolutely perfection to be able to use your scraps and use up your stash in any way that you want to do it. Now, how do you use Quilters Grid? It is so, so simple. Sorry, I think I probably moved off camera there, Chris, sorry. What we're doing here is I have just laid a whole load of squares onto Quilters Grid and they're now on my ironing board. And all I'm doing is, it's really technical. You quite literally drop your iron. Okay, you hold it down, you don't move it, you don't look at it, you just leave it. You count to 10 or 12 and you lift it up and then you just move it over and you do it again. Count to 10 or 12 and that is all you're doing. You're not moving the iron and all you're doing is activating the glue so that the fabric then becomes adhered to your stabilizer, which is the Quilters Grid. And literally you just do that entirely. You don't need to move anything, you don't need to do anything. So now that you've ironed that and you've done it, do not, this is the most important thing you will ever do, do not touch it. Do not look at it, do not do anything with it. You leave it alone for 20 minutes until it is completely and utterly dry. Now, I've done that on this section over here. Just sat on my microphone, apologies. And all you're going to do now is you're going to look on the back of your fabric and you're going to find a grid line, and you're going to stitch on that grid line. And you're going to do a 1/4 inch seam all the way along, and quite literally just stitch a 1/4 inch all the way along your quilter's grid. Hello. Hello.
It's all right. I'm just letting you know that everything is sorted.
Perfect.
We are good. Michelle's all good to go.
Brilliant.
And you've
3
got
minutes?
about, well,
2.
2.
Perfect.
Okay,
It's that
you can
simple.
finish that in
No,
2
you're fine.
minutes.
2-3 minutes is very easy. Now, if you do buy the pattern, the kit for the Quilters Grid cushion, there will be a YouTube tutorial that is going to be put up on Tuesday next week. So you are going to have a tutorial that will go with it. So you're not abandoned. The process is not abandoned. So all I've done here is I have stitched up and down over here. I've stitched up and down. And then all you're doing over here is you decide, am I going to cut my seams open or am I not? And I'm not. So you fold your fabric forward so that these are all going in the same direction. It's quite unnerving having Nicola so close behind me. Hello, darling. I haven't stolen anything, I promise.
I'm just checking.
It's all good.
No, I'm looking at this. Is amazing.
I love Quilters Grid because the number of times you hold on a
never
telephone
used
call,
it.
and then again, when you're doing the other way, fold this down, just make sure that all of your pieces are out of the way, and these are all going in the same direction.
Now, what I will say with this stuff is I always advise splitting those seams on the back because it does get quite chunky. Thank you. Oh,
John's already said all this. You weren't here, Hayley.
no, I was busy.
No, it's important. I think
is
that it is important that you've got to make that decision. So with you doing
That's
that, it's done and dusted. You can get the teeniest, tiniest pair of scissors and go down there and do it.
Oh, do you know what?
And you just
I
trim
don't
your
even
seams.
bother that.
Otherwise, you use your normal unpicker. Or you just trim the edges like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So much time saved. So much time saved, John. Just like that. Bosh, bosh, bosh. All the way down. It's
Then how do you
way,
open
way
the
quicker.
Seams out. You haven't got a lot of seam allowance.
Doesn't matter.
I'm with you. I wouldn't do it that way. But that's just me. But she knows she's really good at what she does. No, that is, it works.
That's amazing.
Much
But I
quicker.
suppose if you go more than an eighth of an inch, it's brilliant. I can see now I'm sort of the thorn between two roses.
The roses.
Aren't they
are-
amazing? Hardly.
I
Aren't they
am.
amazing?
I'm loving it.
Isn't it
But I mean,
good?
if you were doing that piece by piece, you'd just
You'd go insane.
you'd go mad,
But
wouldn't
now,
you? You'd
you
go
see,
mad.
love
can you
this.
tell? This is why I have my pod here full
With
of
all
all my oranges.
Oh, look at it with all his bits
Literally.
ready
So
to
you
go.
asked me why I've got my pumpkins is because
Yeah, I
of
turned
my
his eyes
pumpkins.
round so he matched
You did.
that one.
You've got better stuff than I do.
Right, we
If
do
you'd
need
like
to
see
say
it,
goodbye.
follow me
Oh,
on
no.
YouTube if you want to. I Quilt with John, really simple.
Because he's
easy.
got loads more followers than I have.
Not on YouTube. Not on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Right, we're bringing it back. Michelle is good and she is ready to go.
Michelle, we
So-
missed having you. We hope to see you next
Ooh,
time.
it's been a stressful day.
It has not.
So we are going
Glorious.
to say goodbye, and we will shut this down, and then we'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes with Michelle.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.